Nerdrotic.com.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner in the Evening at Night morning show. I think I've got everything covered. I'm sure it's afternoon somewhere, too. But I'm not sure. What I am sure of is Doctor Who is dead everywhere. Not just here. Not just there. Everywhere. God save the Queen. Oi! I've got my British suspenders on right now, and I am kind of pissed. I'm still pissed. I'm still totally pissed about this. Now, I am as close to drunk as you'll ever see me. I am completely sleep deprived. I haven't had a full night's sleep in like a week, but it's been a lot of fun doing a lot of YouTubing. I did 10 hours of live streaming on Sunday, and that zonked me out. It's 3:38 a.m. in the UK. I know. I wanted to do a UK one, but this is the only time in the day I could do it. I will be doing some Super Chat Square Up from previous live streams. Probably won't get it all done tonight, but I'll do another live stream in the morning. And of course, after this, I'll be going live with Star Trek Picard tonight, so I will be getting a little nap in before that because I'm an old man. But I'm still pissed. I mean, this is, like I said, it's the last Jedi of Doctor Who. We've got the hacks and the shills and the JodieBots spinning out there right now, just like I knew they would. And this is, I don't want to call it battle lines, but this is how you can judge your Doctor Who entertainment consumption at this point, as far as reviewers go, as far as credibility goes. For me, as a as a consumer of Doctor Who and a fan of Doctor Who, there's a lot of these channels and sites I used to go to all the time. Doctor Who TV, Radio Times, Gallifrey Reddit, Doctor Who Reddit, multiple YouTube channels, which I will not name. If you're okay with what they just did, you're a shill. You're a straight up shill. Now, maybe it's going to take you time to kind of work through it due to hypnosis, and I will forgive that. I mean, that happens to everybody. But they just dropped a bomb on Doctor Who canon, and there is no way to spin that and save the brain of Morbius argument. Bulls Trek just shattered that today. That's an assumption, and I will end it right here. You're going to use that loophole to counteract the established canon that they've put in throughout the 56 years. So you're going to ignore, how many times did they say there's 12 regenerations? There's 12 regenerations. They said it in the last episode, there's 12 regenerations. So take your brain of Morbius argument and stick it in your TARDIS. Stick it right in your TARDIS. That's the same argument as the fools had for Spock in Star Trek Discovery because he smirked in the cage. Well, that was a pilot that was never meant to air, and it wasn't canonized until 1986. So Alex Kurtzman used that as a loophole to justify Spock in Star Trek Discovery, which is not Spock. That's soy Spock. That's fake Spock. That's Spuck. It's not Spock. Maybe Paul McCartney from Let It Be, but not Spock. And this Doctor Who isn't Doctor Who. It's bullshit. And what they did was sacrifice it on the altar of agenda. I mean, it's a virtue signal. It was, they crapped on 56 years for a trend. For a trend. That's like selling out Doctor Who to disco. So Piers Wenger and Chris Chibnall have now put Rian Johnson, Jar Jar Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, Alex Kurtzman to shame. To shame. Now, there's a lot of people in the Fandom Menace who don't watch Doctor Who, and I'm glad you don't now. I'm glad you don't. Now, the classic series is one of the greatest TV shows of all time, if not the greatest TV show of all time. The Neo-Classic series, the first few years are some of the best modern television ever, and it's the best way to revitalize a franchise. And they built up all that goodwill, and they decided to use the fan base to, win an election, sway a vote. They used Doctor Who to shape minds, to create conversations, to tell us how to think. Instead of providing us with choices. It's always good to have a choice. It's good to have liberal and conservative. You don't want to wipe either of them out or you're in trouble. So, I love having a life full of choices. And Doctor Who was about choices, and it wasn't about shaming people. And now it is. Now it's about shaming people. So Doctor Who can fuck off. Chris Chibnall can fuck off. And I'm working out whether I'm going to even support this show with my covering it, because in a way I do help it. The way they look, the way they measure analytics now, a view is a view. Whether it's positive or negative, interaction on the internet is interaction on the internet. Well, it's positive or negative. So there's the argument to be made that we help the show, that we give it a false reading, because so many of us are talking about it right now. The bean counters are probably excited about this. This is probably what they wanted. Now, everything they did this season was based on the first 3 episodes ratings. You want to talk about, rose-colored glasses. They just hyper-focused on that and thought they could do whatever the hell they want. Now they're facing the consequences. I wouldn't be surprised if they undid this. Yes, I'm aware that the boundary at the planet was the same as the boundary that they found the first female of color doctor at, and it probably was the same planet. Totally aware of that. I watched the episode more than I cared to. For my, hope you saw my review today. Hope you liked it. I watched the episode 5 times in 5-minute increments. It was brutal. I wanted to gouge my eyes out. It was. This is worse than The Last Jedi for me. As bad as the Jodie decision was. As I've always said, I could have been sold on good writing. I firmly believe that if you really believed in female empowerment and feminism and all of that stuff, that you would create your own show, create your own character. And as the BBC does, they commission series, put your money where your mouth is, commission it for 3 seasons, 10 episodes, freaking fill it with women, make it an all-female cast. I don't care. Give them their own show where they can develop their own canon. And you know what? You invest enough time, you get the top-notch writers, and you probably have a pretty good show in your hands that everybody loves. It would be more Doctor Who. Instead of Doctor Who taking a year break, you can do a Romana show or make up a new character and a Doctor Who show and a Romana show and a Doctor Who. No, this was about taking away something from the boys. How'd that work out? How'd that work out? See, what you ended up doing was taking away something from the boys and the girls and the men and the women and everybody else out there. My emails are flooded right now. I've never had this many emails. I've never had this many requests for a video for the review, even during the height of Star Wars or during the height of Game of Thrones. It's been nuts. Doctor Who fans still give a shit. But that's not going to last very much longer. See, what you're going to head into is apathy. I will give you the example of one more day with The Amazing Spider-Man. As you might know, I used to own a comic shop in San Francisco for 10 years. And Spider-Man was doing pretty well. Straczynski was making some crazy changes, but the fans were liking it. I was liking it. He just told one of the best stories I think I've ever read in Spider-Man. I mean, it gets overshadowed by One More Day, but Back in Black, where Aunt May gets killed and Spider-Man breaks into a prison. And I mean, the great thing about Spider-Man is he's never using his full power because he's such a good kid. He holds back. So when he gets pissed and it feels earned, it's rare, but he breaks into a prison and he gets to the Kingpin, gets right in his face and goes, I can break into this prison whenever I want and kill you whenever I want. See, he's been, the Kingpin had been reliant on Spider-Man's good nature and he got lazy. So the Spider-Man checked him and it was one of the greatest moments in the goddamn series. Then it gets followed up by One More Day because Joe Quesada's an idiot, used up goodwill, didn't listen to the fan base and got rid of Mary Jane and it broke Spider-Man. Spider-Man still sells. It's still around, but the comic is not as prominent as it used to be and it never will be. Because it lost some hardcore fans. I had people who would come in and they would get subscriber accounts and they would go, I want everything Spider-Man. Everything was Spider-Man in the comic, his name on it. Just put it in my pull box. And sometimes they'd spend $1,000 a week. They gave it up right after that. They came in, pissed off, said, cut off my subscriber. It cost me thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars. That effing Joe Quesada, because he didn't like Mary Jane and didn't listen to the fan base because the fan base loved Mary Jane, loved their marriage. But they felt like it pigeonholed them as far as writing. No, it's just because, listen, they churn out so many stories and they tell too many and they can't take their time with storytelling. Now, there's no excuse with Doctor Who. You take a year or so off, you only write 10 episodes. This season was filled with filler. This episode was filled with filler. What a disgrace. They fucking undo Doctor Who's canon with a voiceover montage. None of the actors, and Hale, Heels versus Babyface, great freaking YouTuber. I had him on a live stream. Check it out. We will do more live streams. I love that guy. He pointed this out as well. If it was so important to have a little black girl as the first Doctor, how many lines did she have? How many lines did Tanaka Naka have? Cannon Crusher. None. Zero. How much screen time did they dedicate to it? What did the Doctor do in probably the most quote unquote important episode of Doctor Who ever? She stood there with her freaking mouth open for fucking 20 minutes. And there's people Radio Times who, it's not everybody. They did give it a negative review, so praise them. And then they come out and say, it doesn't smash the canon. It doesn't really matter. Did I not predict that? Did I not say in the live stream in the first 5 minutes, I said, I can tell you what the articles are going to be. Again, I will say, if you are a YouTuber and you use the TARDIS or anything Doctor Who in your logo, which is illegal, by the way, but they let you do it. And you are a completely committed Doctor Who channel. That's where you hang your hat. That's what you do. Listen, I'm not telling you what to do. This is a pro tip. As Rafi says in Picard, pro tip, JL. Pro tip. I just went through this with The Last Jedi. I just saw what happened with Marvel Comics and DC Comics. and we're currently going through it with Star Trek, you better be honest with your audience. That's all I'm going to say. If you ever wonder why you're not getting traction, it's about connecting with your audience. Will I always connect all the time? No. But I'm as honest as I can be. And as it says in the description, I will address a criticism of the hashtag, the Fandom Menace towards Star Trek. I'll get to that in a second. But you better be honest with your audience. And you know what? It's okay to say you don't like it. You're not going to get anything from the BBC anyway. I don't understand why you shill for them anyway. The show's not going to be around much longer. It's going to be irrelevant. They could bring back David Tennant next season. Doesn't matter. David Tennant is no longer the 10th Doctor. He's just a doctor from a cycle. But it adds so much more. It adds so much more. No, you just diluted it. God damn, I'm pissed. It's freaking hot in here too. It's hot in here. All right, let's get a little bit to the chat, and then we're gonna do like a Q&A here. So a lot of the questions that are held over from the Inquisition and the Doctor Who live stream I did are Doctor Who related. So we're gonna keep talking about Doctor Who. Gary can only be Gary. Be true to yourself. Yes, I have no choice in the matter. What's up, Noel? How's it going, my friend? See, Noel keeps it real at all times. He's fair. He gets a lot of shit, but he's honestly fair. So I got your back, buddy. All the time. Hello, and thank you, Tim F. We got Andy P. We got Ulrich Harrison. We got Fat Freddy's Cat. We got Paradox. We got Culture Casino. We got Chris Cockrum. We got Sam. We got Jonathan. We got Francisco. We got Chris Persia and his wrench. We got Taz Craig. We got Mongoose McQueen. We got Cyrus. We got Emerald Dreams for 100 Australian dollars. Good eye. Holy shit. Good eye. Bruce. Can I call you Bruce Emerald? Let the hate flow through you. So, what's up? Nerdaholics. What's up, lads? I love the Nerdaholics. That was a great video. It really was. I enjoyed that. That was one of the only videos I saw before my review, prior to my review. I try not to watch anybody else's review. I haven't watched Drinks yet, okay? So don't spoil it, because Critical Drinker's video is going to be the greatest thing that came out of this, okay? So hail to the Critical Drinker. The Inquisition, no one expects the Manish Inquisition. It's the Manish Inquisition. All right, god damn, I'm pissed, man. I'm so fucking pissed about this. It's 2017 all over again. It really is. Except this time I didn't rip all my Doctor. I mean, it's too bad I didn't make a video that day, because I ripped all my Doctor Who shit off my wall. I had a little temper tantrum. Thanks, Noel. Bulls Trek is the man. We love Bulls Trek. Hail Bulls Trek. Subscribe to Bulls Trek. Subscribe to Critical Drinker. Subscribe to Noel. What's up, Cancel Jeremy? Oh my God. It's boiling in here right now. It's actually warm in San Francisco. Drinker's video was epic. I bet it was. I'm going to watch it right after this. What's up, Heels? How's it going? He says, I'm awake. It's like 4 a.m. over there, isn't it? What are you doing awake? Jesus Christ. All right. Oh, my God. I didn't know I was that far over. Sorry. All right. I got to show off my suspenders. And where is the window? Is that the right one? Yep. All right. There we go. Now, some of these are going to be, this is from the Doctor Who review, where Heels versus Babyface was there with Bulls Trek and the third female Doctor, played by Starry-Eyed Girl. And I'm going to go back and forth, folks. So don't worry. Snark Bajoom for 379 rubles. Next season, the real name of the doctor is Martha, and she is not a doctor. She's a nurse. Martha! How'd you know that name? Forever Sci-Fi. The same people ruining our shows are the ones who applaud drag queens who lap dance for 9-year-olds. Yes. And anybody who applauds that is a sick idiot. A sick idiot. I'll tell you right now, that's going to be the next. I don't want to have that conversation. I really don't. But that's going to be the next thing that's going to happen. I remember in 2004, I went to my first Pride Parade because Ian McKellen was going to be there. He was the Grand Poobah of the Pride Parade. And I left because the people who were marching in front. Now, I found out later that the excuse by San Francisco was they couldn't tell them not to be there. But Mambla was there. They were the first people in the parade. And I freaking bailed. I'm like, I am not taking part in this shit. And then I told a couple of my friends that you better check people on this. Because I don't think you want to be associated with that. And apparently they didn't have a choice, but, I guess there is such a thing as free speech, but I'm okay with drawing the line there, to be honest with you. I'm okay. This episode, was the Highlander 2 of Doctor Who. It was. And this live stream was one of the best and one of the most therapeutic I've ever had. Because, and that's thanks to you, because I was like really upset. I was upset. And, if anybody has a problem with me being upset or me caring or how I do my business, tough shit. Ashley Harmon, the way I see it, every life is a pile of good things and bad things. The good things don't always soften the bad things. The vice versa. The bad things don't always spoil the good things and make them unimportant. The 11th Doctor, she followed up with something. I think that was later on, though. May I introduce you to thank you, Ashley. May I introduce you to a very interesting video on William Hart. Oh, I've read that one. Okay, I didn't know where I left off, so I'm just going to probably double up on some of these. Episode was trash, says KM, for $2. Absolutely. Canadian $5. So this is where the Star Wars people got dinosaurs for their whiteboard. Dinosaurs on a spaceship. Yes, Kenneth, they did. You know what? I think you're spot on. I think you're absolutely spot on. I mean, I don't hate dinosaurs on a spaceship. It just wasn't my favorite episode. The only Chris Chibnall episode that I like is 42, and it's because it has Martha. And yes, I've got a major thing for Martha. Always have. Mazamonte says, the way this is her follow-up. Mazamonte, the way I see it, every episode is a pile of white men and wokeness. White men don't always soften the wokeness, but vice versa. The woke will spoil the canon and make it unimportant. R.I.P. Doctor Who, Vincent. Mazamonte, you're a legend. Loud Bob, thank you for the 10 pounds. For 5 pounds, all my favorite commenters in one place. How did I miss the notification? I watch all you so I don't have to watch Doctor Who, Discovery, etc., says Loud Bob. Why, thank you for 5 pounds. And I will be sparing you, well, hopefully, from another episode of Star Trek Picard tonight, unless it's good. If it's good, I will say it's good. Hey, there was a good episode of Wokeman. Oh, I'm going to do a video on that. And I don't care if nobody watches it. So hail for Yellow Flash for catching this, because I only caught it through his video. But CBR came out and told the effing truth. I couldn't believe it. So I had people in my the Watchmen live streams that Doomcock and I did. We got tons of shit for that, by the way. And people were coming in, and HBO was saying it was getting 7 million people watching per episode. Well, it turns out that was a fracking lie. It turns out the ratings were more like not even a million. Not even a million. Turns out it was canceled. So after I saw the Yellow Flash, I have to wait till hey, second, you might be out there. Second HBO source, you know who you are. Could you confirm if it's canceled or not? Because one already did. when already did say it was axed by HBO. They didn't give Damon Lindelof a choice. It was canceled. But of course, they don't cancel shows anymore. Like Doctor Who, they'll find something to blame it on. They'll blame it on Boris. Like well, we commissioned it for 20 more seasons, but Boris canceled it. Burp, burp, burp. Just like as I stated in my last live stream, my last nooner, my insider, I reported it here. It looks like Midnight's Edge echoed it. I reported that Amazon was out of the Star Trek business, and that Star Trek Discovery 3 is probably going to be its last season. Now, according to insiders, again, grain of salt, just a rumor, not reporting it as news, they are breaking down the sets in Toronto. So, I mean, if anybody knows different, please email me, correct me if I'm, but that's what I've heard. This might be it. And what they're going to come out and say is it's always been planned for 3 seasons. It's always been planned. By the way, I'm going to call him Az from now on. I can't call him Heels versus Babyface all the time. Az and Batwoman is pure gold. It really is. No, I don't even watch Batwoman, but I watch Az, I watch Bulls Trek, and EFAP. So I want Batwoman to stay around so I can get more EFAP, Az, and Bulls Trek reviews. I personally can't do it. What I promise you, the first and last CW video I will do is when Supergirl gets canceled. And I will unload on the CW. The CW has caused a lot of problems for my channel. Okay. I hate it. My co-hosts, when I was starting up the channel and it was pretty bland, my co-hosts really wanted to cover the CW. So I wanted them to do it because I didn't want to watch it, and they could never get their shit together. Pro tip: solo channel, go solo. Best way to go. Only Jeremy can have an army of people and be organized enough to keep them together. I mean, keeping YouTubers together is like the very definition of herding cats. So props to Jeremy, my man Jeremy. Oh, by the way, cancel Jeremy. Did you know Gary used to own a comic shop? Asked Tom Bishop. Vicious lies, I tell you. Vicious lies for $5. Have I mentioned in the last couple of seconds that I'm fucking pissed about Doctor Who? And what, I mean, that fucking Radio Times article last night, if I wasn't in the middle of making another video, I'm making a video on that. And I don't care if it's going to be old news, and I don't care if anybody watches it. That article needs to be shouted out from every rooftop, from every mountaintop as the perfect example of a shill article. Just coming out right afterwards and explaining away. I mean, listen, are you going to change all your merchandising packaging? My Big Finish box, which is right down there, it says First Doctor on it. That's not the First Doctor anymore. I say Big Finish, I meant Big Chief Studios, my 1/6 scales. So yeah, I'm canceling all my orders with Big Chief, and that sucks because they're good people, but I mean, I'm not giving the BBC any money directly anymore. I'm not going to subscribe to Big Finish. I'm done with Big Chief Studios. I'm fucking done. And if you want anything to change, that would be my recommendation. I'm not calling for boycotts or anything. You can do what you want to do, and I'm not into telling people what to do. But what I am going to do, I'll keep it to I statements, is I'm not giving them any money. Now, I'll still get Doctor Who stuff, and I'll buy it from somebody off of eBay. I'll just buy everything secondhand. You can buy anything Big Finish secondhand. Now, does it hurt them? Yeah. But, somebody within Doctor Who needs to stand up and say, this shit needs to stop. And there are people who exist. Noel can back me up on this one. There are people in the BBC who are not fucking happy about this. I tell you that right now. How the hell do you think I heard about my rumor? It's because somebody was pissed. Now, they don't want to give up their job. By the way, I have another one. I got another one, but I gotta wait. I'm gonna wait. But I got another one. Another rumor, by the way. I just got it last night. So, same person. but I'm going to sit on it for a little while because I like to get maybe some more verification on this. But phew, it's done. It's done. And like, I don't know if I'm going to cover the Christmas special. I don't want to sit here and say I'm never going to cover it again because I do want to chronicle its demise. This is personal with me. And I don't care what anybody thinks about that. I've invested so much time and money in this, and to just make everything not count anymore is so disrespectful that it warrants some backlash. Norris Sironk says, Paul Darrow swaggers into room. Chibnall squeals in manly fashion. Paul grins manically. Fade to black. Credits. The 14th Doctor will return for Christmas. I wish. I got to see if you guys can see those super chats there. All right. There we go. We got to line that up. There we go. Lepruck86, as and nerd, thanks for the content you produce. It genuinely helps and offers sanity during the agenda-driven time. I miss Good Who and Star Trek. I thank you, and I'll thank you for Az, who's out there, and I'm sure he thanks you. He's a class act. And funny. I liked your vids today. I can't tell you how many times I hear it, and I'm sure any other YouTuber hears it. And we've all gone through hard times. Doctor Who helped me through an incredibly hard time. And that's probably why I connect with it so much. The dark days at the end of my comic shop and, going to rehab and my life being complete shit. Doctor Who was the only break I got from the misery. And that was right around the 50th anniversary. Actually, like when the 50th anniversary hit, right after that, my life, just the bottom fell out. So yeah, it means a lot. And that's where entertainment is important. And that's where escapism is important. And that's why it's important to remember that fans are customers. Somebody mentioned in the chat the other day that we should start referring, and listen, they tried to do this with Comicsgate and everybody. They tried to refer to fans as customers, and we should stick with that. We really should. A fan is a customer. It's easier to disrespect a fan than as a customer, except unless you're an editor or a former editor of Image Comics. And good customer service is considered a right-wing Comicsgate dog whistle. What kind of shit is that? That might be the dumbest tweet. Well, it's easily the dumbest tweet of 2020. But that's Image Comics for you. You know what? Berkeley wasn't woke enough for Image, so they moved to Portland, right? Didn't they move to Portland? Or is that where... Dark Horse moved from Portland to Milwaukee. I'm a little out of touch with comics right now. I know Wolverine's gay now or something, and I'm going to probably dip back in. But, oh my God. Good customer service is a dog whistle. So, using Chib's name gets you demonetized? Guess even Google knows his name isn't worth a dime. Says Oz Baxter Incorporated. It hasn't gotten me demonetized, but I think Bulls Trek is on somebody's shit list. He was for a little while because his channel was getting suppressed. It's not anymore, but it was. I can back him up on that one. And that does happen. You get on a shit list, and what happens... Here's what I think happens. You use a word over and over again. They program some kind of bot to catch this certain word that if it gets used, it downplays your channel. I think SJWs did that for a lot of channels. I personally have never used SJW in a title. I don't use the term that much. I don't mind if people do. I think it's very applicable to certain people. I don't know. I've just never been big on broadly generalizing, but it's very applicable. Chris Chibnall, SJW, totally. Absolutely. That editor from Image, SJW, absolutely. You're an SJW if you think good customer service is a dog whistle. Raging Golden Eagle put out his Blade Devil today. Says NK33. I don't even know what any of that is, NK33. I'm going to have to look it up. I'm sorry. That might be an old man thing. But I will check NK33. Thank you very much for the $2. Thank you, Oz Baxter Incorporated, for the $5. Thank you, Casey Osowski, for the $5. Jacob, oh boy, let's just say Jacob, for £5. Hail, Jacob. Thank you. Ratings will be lit. Although I wonder how many people got baited by Captain Jack appearance in the finale. I'm wondering, that might have been the 20,000 view bump they got. I think that was it. The ratings were pathetic. The fact that they came out and said everything's fine tells you everything's not fine. That is, I'll use a sports ball reference. Anytime a coach is in trouble, he gets the vote of confidence from the general manager. And I'm sure it's the same over in the UK with your silly little football. I'm just kidding. With your football over there, when the owner of the team comes out and says, the coach is doing great, we love him, he's like months away from getting fired. The vote of confidence. That's what that was. Piers Winger going into Deadline after this show has been heavily criticized. And believe me, Piers Winger knows who Heels versus Babyface is. He knows who Bulls Trek is. He knows who Doomcock is. He knows who the Critical Drinker is. Believe me, they all watch this shit. So him coming out and talking to Deadline. Why would he talk to Deadline? I mean, right now, Doctor Who is not even a blip on the radar in America. Nobody's watching it here anymore. It's completely dead. I mean, you guys, it's BBC. I don't know how many times I got to tell you, you fucked up so badly with that. I mean, that might be one of the worst fuck ups with the franchise ever. I mean, last Sunday was. But you had America at the palm of your hand. Do you know how much fucking money we spend? Do you know how fanatical we could be? You know how nuts we can be with the fandom? You know what made J.K. Rowling a billionaire? Sorry, it wasn't you guys in the UK. It was the fans here. The UK, I mean, the UK population is what? Just 60 million, right? So we got 33 million just in California. It was Americans that made J.K. Rowling rich. So you had, Matt Smith's era was so popular with everybody. Peter Capaldi did drive away some audience, with probably some ageism. All right. I think people really like the young doctor, and that's, you know what? I'm sorry, but I think that's what you need to do. You need a young male doctor and a young female companion. And if that's too much for you, if that's too heteronormative for you, then please explain all the gay people who like Doctor Who liked it, who filled my store when I did my viewings. Please tell me. Norris Surunk, it says it all. The Final Space has better writing and continuity than Doctor Who. It says it all when Final Space has better writing and continuity than Doctor Who. It absolutely does. Venture Brothers has better, well, honestly, Venture Brothers has some of the best continuity on television, period. But the continuity on Doctor Who is crap. Now, there was a lot of stuff left on the cutting room floor for my video today. But the video was actually 30 minutes. If you remember my Patreon, you will see the uncut video. I uploaded it in the morning like I promised, and I got zapped by the copyright gods. So I had to cut out a bunch of clips. But for instance, all the times in this episode, something happened and then somebody would describe what just happened. Like the ship shows up and Barristan Selmy goes, "They're here." Yeah, fucking obviously. Or my favorite one is Graham goes up and has the idea of getting into the Cyberman costume. He's all right. We'll take their armor off, right? All right, crikey, right? And we'll walk around the ship in disguise, right? Okay, crikey. And then right after he says that, Yaz goes, You mean we want to disguise ourselves as Cybermen? You know, it's like shit like that happens all the time. They'll show something, somebody will say something, and then somebody will repeat it. It's just to fill time. It's the worst writing ever. So I had to cut those clips out, which sucked because I thought they were kind of funny. And I did them in like this slow motion with, because Yaz is just the worst companion ever. And we're getting stuck with Yaz. Bradley Walsh and Tolson Cole are leaving. I'm with you, Az. I don't know who gave, I mean, maybe Tolson Cole is like this great actor and we're just not seeing it in Doctor Who. I wish him all the best. Probably a nice kid. Probably a really nice kid. So I wish them no ill will, or Mandeep Gill. I hope they all have great careers outside of Doctor Who. Listen, I hope Jodie Whittaker wins 20 BAFTAs. Just get the fuck off of Doctor Who. Chibnall, go write some broad, churchy, depressing shit somewhere else. Quackmire, I've been writing Doctor Who fan series, trying to retcon this mess. Give me the link. Quackmire, Gary at Nerdrotic.com. I got oh my God, this email I got, I put it in my video from this girl was writing me in Australia. If you're out there, hello, in her math class. And she wrote me this email where she just said, I'm upset. Basically, I'm like really upset. So I'm going to write down all of my favorite episodes in order. And she did it in her math class. And she was sure to tell me like her name and like her age was 15. And it was, I'm going to write her back with my list. I owe her my list, but I thought that was kind of cute. And that's how people cope, you know? I've been watching Classic Who, but like I said, it's 2017 all over again. When I walked out of The Last Jedi, I had a migraine, but really, Star Wars wasn't that important to me anymore. Listen, earlier on in my life, it was the biggest thing ever. I was all about Star Wars. I was a member of the fan club. I live in, Star Wars was my life for a couple of decades. 97 when it revitalized and came back for the 20th anniversary, that was like amazing. It was great. But the prequels kind of broke the spell for me, you know. I was still a fan though. I didn't hate it. Last Jedi, I just disconnected, completely disconnected. Star Trek, I think Star Trek can still turn around. I think out of the three franchises, if they shut down Picard right now or get a whole, season 2 isn't in production yet, so we could get a whole new set of writers, which would be probably a really good idea. And it'd probably be a really good idea to bring in our boy Q here to reset the whole thing. He's going to go back up there in a little bit by tonight. Doctor Who, no coming back from. They're not going to undo this, folks. They are not going to, but Az had the best idea. If the Timeless Child, now think about it though, the name of the episode was Timeless Children, so they can always do a swap. If the Timeless Child was the master, it would make way more sense. But they're not going to do it because the only reason they did this, you guys whoever watched the episode, it was so fucking half-assed. The reason they did it was to cement Jodie's legacy, was to justify Jodie's legacy. Because they saw what the sentiment was. Listen, they have the access to the real data. They know what people really think. And unfortunately, when you're kind of a woke elitist, you don't want to see the world for what it is. You see the world how you think it should be instead of seeing the world how it really fucking is. And that's a like a narcissism on a whole different level. But that's what we're fighting against. These people, like, if to be wrong would shatter these people. They are so fragile that just to say, okay, we got it wrong, we're going to redo this, we're sorry, fandom, which that's all it would take. If somebody came out, you want to listen, you have this one chance, BBC and Doctor Who. I know you'll never do this. But if you come out and go, listen, we misread the tea leaves. Okay, we're smelling our own farts a little bit too much. We're sorry. We'll fix this. We'll make it all a dream. We'll make it all the master's plot. Blah blah blah. We're gonna put everything back. William Hartnell's the first doctor. Everything would be cool instantly. Instantly. You would have a few upset people on Twitter who don't watch your fucking show. And maybe you're finding out that the people who are supporting you don't watch your show. And by the way, I was ready for the Morbius argument before the episode even fucking aired. Okay. I've seen the episode. There's nothing specific. I never listen. You know what I thought when I first saw that episode? I thought it was possible faces of the Doctor. I never thought it was previous Doctors. There's nothing that insinuates that it's previous Doctors or it was Morbius. And it was just a gag for get the producers' faces in there and stuff. So that's complete bullshit. And again, to reset that argument, the brain of Morbius argument is bullshit as much as the Cage Spock smiling argument is to justify Spock in Star Trek Discovery. Star Trek Discovery is so popular that nobody's talking about it. Nobody ever talks about that show. It never trends. I dare CBS All Access to come out with any kind of data to prove me wrong. But I know how many people watch your show because I've been told by somebody who works at Viacom CBS. I've been given a number. And I have videos. I have a lot of videos that have more views than some Star Trek Discovery episodes. And if you want to talk about pathetic, the Short Trek episodes, the ratings are bad for that. Emery claim Clara helps Doctor in numbers great intelligence knew about for $2. Emery, I don't know, but Clara's looking pretty good right now. I'll take Clara over this shit any day. Let me tell you, okay, real quick. If you guys heard this argument before, sorry, not argument, but I fully believe that I know for a fact that halfway through season 7 got completely screwed. Stephen Moffat got screwed. All right. There was Karen Gillan left early. Matt Smith left early. They had to change the plot a couple times. They had a big thing planned for a Dalek invasion. And Clara was supposed to be a flirty computer hacker. Go back and read the Doctor Who magazine. And she was in Asylum of the Daleks. That Clara was great. The Clara in The Snowman was great. Jenna Coleman is a good actress. Stephen Moffat wrote her Stephen Moffat was writing a companion how he thought the BBC wanted him to. I think he was just being a good team player. And I think he's a little thin-skinned, and he heard a couple people complaining on Twitter that he was sexist, which was just fucking ridiculous. I hereby declare Series 11 and 12 non-canon. It's fiction, so I can believe whatever I want. These seasons do not exist. Vapor. Jojo Zippy, you are correct. For $5, I back that statement 100%. I'm just checking in on you guys, making sure everything's okay. Okay, then we see Cardinal Sin. We'll get back to Cardinal Sin. And I'll get to you guys in just a second, okay? Thanks for being patient, and thank you for being here. All 2,800 of you. Jesus, that was surprising. I did not expect that. Thank you for being here. Dominique Gannon. Hi, Dominique. How are you? For $2. So the show is basically new Doctor Who dis? Exactly, Dominique. It's who dat. It's who dat. No, it's who died. Who died? Doctor Who died. Fuck. There's nothing we can do to save this. There's no hashtag. Use your hashtags, please. Use something. Listen, tonight I noticed that RIP Doctor Who filled in for me. And so that means enough people are using RIP Doctor Who. use whatever one you want, but add R.I.P. Doctor Who. I think that one's really getting some traction. John White says, please mention my Not My Doctor Who campaign, change.org. John White has a petition from the Not My Doctor folks, which you could check out on change.org. Thank you for the £2. I've read the petition. And the petition's fine. Yeah, go check it out if you want to. Noel, my buddy Noel, also had saved Doctor Who. I don't know, Noel. I'm sorry, I haven't checked in. I don't know where you are with that, buddy. But whatever wherever you at, just let me know and I'll retweet it and stuff. But save Doctor Who, Not My Doctor, R.I.P. Doctor. I think it's just R.I.P. Doctor Who right now, to be honest with you. I mean, I admire anybody who's trying to save the show and still has hope, and I'm not going to try to piss on your hope. Keep fighting. Keep doing what you're doing. But here's the best case scenario, and this sucks. They just reboot the series. And that won't be better. Trust me. That won't be better. I mean, fuck Chris Chibnall, what he just did. Oh my God. I tried to explain it to Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers. He doesn't watch Doctor Who. And the best, because I was pissed off and upset at the time. I'm like, well, just imagine that Luke Skywalker was originally a girl and he was the source for the Force. And Obi-Wan and Yoda stole the Force from him when he was a girl, and then de-aged him and then changed him into a boy and erased his memories. That's what Doctor Who just did. Imagine if Spider-Man was originally a girl and his spider powers, the source of all superpowers in the Marvel Universe came from the girl Spider-Man. And then Professor X and Reed Richards went and stole the powers from the little girl, from Petra Parker. And then after the girl grew up, they de-aged her, changed her into a boy, and then made her Peter Parker Spider-Man. And the source of all Marvel superhero powers were stolen from a little girl. That's what Doctor Who just did. Cardinal Sin, Nicola Bryan would be a better doctor than Joe. Yeah. But listen, I'm not going to... I want there to be female Time Lords. Absolutely. Give me some new female Time Lords. Make a whole new show. I would have watched it. I would have bought all the shit. Hey, listen, I watched every second of Class. Okay, I tried. It just sucked. And I fully believe that Class is the reason we have a female doctor. They tried the offshoot and it didn't work. For one, they got the wrong guy to run it. I am Romana. You have Romana out there. Romana would be brilliant. And you could call it Doctor Who Romana or whatever. I mean, if you need to have the Doctor Who label on it, just call it Doctor Who Romana. But the Doctor was a male for 50-something years, okay? You don't just change that and expect it to be the same. Again, there's the way the world is and the way you see the world, okay? And by the way, wanting one singular character in one show to stay male, I don't care what color, I really don't care, but to stay male is not sexist. It's just, that's what I watch. That's what I invested my time in. That's what I expect to see. There's another YouTuber out there who said, I think there was kind of a flippant statement, but no, it's not fragile. I'm a fan of the show. I actually watch the show. This YouTuber just reports on the news, doesn't actually watch the show, which is fine. You can do that. But those of us who wanted the Doctor to stay male, you need to listen to our arguments. For one, it is sexist what they did. It's completely fucking sexist. I don't know how many times I got to say this. Slapping a male label on a male label on a female Wasn't enough. That's why they had to go in and change the canon. I knew they were going to fucking do this because it was a sexist move. Now everything's fine. It's less problematic. I mean, you just fucked your merchandising. You just fucked your canon. You just fucked Big Finish. You just fucking fucked Big Chief Studios. And I think Funko has the Doctor Who license right now. You just fucked them too. Believe me. Oh, believe me. The toy people are pissed. They're completely fucking pissed at you, BBC. So all that licensing you're getting from other people, that's for the show itself. Believe me, they're not licensing it for this. They're licensing it for the Fourth Doctor. But listen, let's be real. They're licensing it for David Tennant and Matt Smith. That's your gold mine right there. And now you just made David Tennant irrelevant. Irrelevant. Fucking morons. I used to work on the show. I don't give a fuck if you created Doctor Who. This is a stupid fucking... Oh. William Hartnell. By the way, that's another one. Hartnell first. Hashtag Hartnell first. Hartnell first. I feel so bad for that. I mean, he's dead, obviously, but he cared so much for this role. It killed him that he was too sick to play it. Oh my God. Adventures in Time and Space is, that gets me. That one gets me. It's Mark Gatiss' best work. If you haven't seen that, it came out during the 50th anniversary, and it was about the first. It had some of the second Doctor, but it's got David Bradley playing William Hartnell, and it's really it's beautifully made. It's beautifully made. That could have been a movie, honestly. Next season, Dr. Woke and Batwoman crossover title. See, we can make it worse, says Lee Ledbetter. Absolutely. Why not? Why not? The only reason those shows exist right now is for partisan, to support the agenda. The agenda is keeping them alive. Woke casting isn't so bad. Gail Simone started a YouTube channel and was woke enough to cast a dog with a wig as herself. Oh, wait. Judy Hopps. That was terrible, Judy. How dare you say that about Gail Simone? Gail Simone. Did you just fridge me? Gail Simone, who created SJW Marvel. She is the founding father of SJW Marvel. Isn't it funny, though? Isn't it funny how she started? She got her and listen, I think Zach realized this the other day and some other people did. She got her start in the business the same way Zach is getting his start right now. She was talking shit about comics, trolling her way into the business. And she's so popular. People just love her. People just love her. Trust me. People hated her 8 years ago. I can't say who, but pretty much everybody's ever worked with her. I did an event with her for Ed Hannigan. I don't know if you guys are ladies and gentlemen have heard of Ed Hannigan. I don't think he's with us anymore. He was very ill, and I was working with an organization that helps comic artists and comic writers in need because these billion-dollar corporations that own Marvel and DC don't give a fuck about the people who created all these characters. And when they get sick or they're in hospice, they have no money. Some are homeless. So because I'm tired right now, I'm blanking on the organization that I worked with forever. It's Hero Initiative. And I did a couple events with them at the Cartoon Art Museum here in San Francisco. And she came to one and she was just fine to be around. Just pleasant as hell. As a matter of fact, I have my wonderful employee, Cara Breslin, who was just like the sweetest human being to ever live. One of the best employees I ever had. She interviewed her, and she was great. But Gail was, you know what? Maybe I'll post the video on Nerdrotic Live, and you guys can have at it. Scarlin Vids. Did I say that right? Scarlin Vids. We get a season 13 and 14. Whittaker will regen at the end of season 13 into a white male doctor. If viewership increases, they'll claim sexism was the cause for Whittaker era. If not, cancel it by season 14. You are correct. We were talking about this with Az on the live stream, and it was Ian, Mega Geek from who mentioned this, and I almost agreed with him. I don't know if we're going to get a male next time. I really don't. They're going to get a lot of shit, and they care. But let me put it this way. I really don't think Chibnall and Whittaker, I don't think it's going out on a limb to say this, they won't be there after season 13. They will not be there. It's going to HBO Max next year. I wonder, it could get a mid-season regeneration. I mean, she doesn't have to do the whole season, does she? Here's one guess, by the way. This is just speculation. Captain Jack will be in multiple episodes next season. Multiple episodes. I'd say 4. He'll be in 4 episodes next season. If not, a full-time companion. I might go as far as to say Captain Jack might be a full-time companion. They're going to pull out all the stops. Don't be surprised if David Tennant comes back. Don't be surprised. Captain Jack's definitely coming back. Like, for sure. I think the only question is how many episodes. I'm going to say it's possible the whole season. I mean, why the fuck not? This is Gallifrey was the best in all versions. As far as you're talking about Murray Gold's beautiful piece of music that I was listening to in the gym today. Oh my God, it's so good. Thank you, the Fixer one. Yeah, Murray Gold is brilliant. Yeah, he's been in heavy rotation in my car and on my phone at the gym. You know her memories are in the carriage clock. Yes, Steve Cotton. Yes. Hey, well, listen. There's so many plot holes. Another thing that I left on the cutting room floor. Rassilon is still out there. He got banished by the 12th Doctor in Death in Heaven, and then the 12th Doctor banished the entire High Council. So, all the Time Lords aren't dead, because Rassilon and the High Council are somewhere roaming around the 3 or 4 planets that are left at the end of the universe. Remember, Gallifrey was in a bubble at the end of the universe. And killing all the fucking Time Lords again and wiping out Gallifrey again is such... so she can be the lone Time Lord. Okay, you want to know the most pathetic scene was when she pushed the Master and they couldn't even shoot the scene. Because, I mean, as short as Sasha is, Jodie pushing somebody over is laughable. It's laughable. Sharon Osborne says, Mother May I for $1.99. Sharon! You know how crazy it would be if that was the real Sharon Osborne? You never know. You never know. If it is, I'm going to say, forgive Ozzy. He knows not what he does. Forgive Ozzy. We love Ozzy. I'm sorry what he did to you. That was fucked up. But got to watch out for those hairdressers. Okay? They are trouble. Woo! Are they trouble? March 1st. Why am I reading the date? See? Whoo, tired. Christy Ricardo for £2 and nothing to say. Thank you very much. Thank you. 200 Watt Studio. Before I knew it was Delgado's birthday, I told people that saw that episode to go watch Delgado Master and see if this episode jives with that. It doesn't. It doesn't. Oh my God. See, if I want Big Chief to make a 1/6 scale Roger Delgado Master, but then I would have to buy it secondhand. And I don't think Big Chief is going to be making Doctor Who for much longer. You want to know how well the Jodie Whittaker 1/6 scale action figure sold? What's the population of the planet? 6 billion? 6 billion, roughly? 378 sold worldwide. 378. John the White wants me to mention the petition again. Please mention the Not My Doctor Change.org campaign for £2. I mentioned it again. There's also, you can complain directly to the BBC. You can Google it or go and watch the end, or go watch one of Noel's videos, or Noel, if Noel's in the chat, he can still, Noel, are you there, buddy? I can wrench you, man. Let me see if Noel's here. If he's still here, I'm going to wrench him. If I didn't wrench you already, I can't remember. There you are, right there. No, you're being wrenched, buddy. So you can put in the link of, if you want, you don't have to, of the complaint where you can send the complaints to the BBC. I highly recommend you do it, and be respectful. Okay, don't be like I am right now. Don't tell them. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but it's best to be kind about this. And you could have a little bit of a glib tongue, because they're going to be glib back, but just focus on like plot holes, story points you don't like. And I don't think it's wrong to mention like, hey, I'm a centrist, or I'm a liberal and I still find this preachy. I'm a centrist and I find it preachy. It was funny. I'm very happy. A little while ago, because of the folks because the assholes at a certain Reddit, they were trying to broadly generalize Bulls Trek and I, and they did a Reddit thread which caused some problems with Google searching Nerdrotic. So if you search Nerdrotic, like one of the first 10 things that would pop up is racist, which is laughable. Please tell my part Vietnamese son how racist I am. So now it says Nerdrotic right wing. I've got a right and a left wing, okay? And you guys are the wind beneath my wings. 200 Watt Studio, thank you very much for the super chat. John the White, thank you very much for the super chat. Check out his change.org campaign. And check out Noel. Jason Bray, I was holding out, but not having Hartnell be the first Doctor in the line is too far. There would literally be no show without him. I guess the only nearly 50 years show I have left is Kamen Rider. At least Japan respects legacy. Jason Bray, you are correct. I mean, people are running to manga and anime right now. Running to that really diverse Japan. Like Japan is all about diversity. They are so inclusive and diverse over there. I'm just kidding. We love Japan. We love anime. We love manga. Because they can still, I mean, like, there's all that, you can still have boobs. I mean, what happened to boobs? Nicholas Horton for £5. Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes was Carol Danvers' last good appearance as Miss Marvel before she became Captain Woke. Nicholas Horton, you are right. Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes is the second best Marvel cartoon ever made. Now, the X-Men, and I'm saying this as a Spider-Man fan, now the X-Men animated series was the first. Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes was the second best. Third, tied kind of, with Spectacular Spider-Man. Spectacular Spider-Man was a great cartoon. Best Venom origin ever. And then Spider-Man the animated series, and Iron Man and Fantastic Four and all that stuff. But absolutely right, Nicholas Horton. Not gonna argue with you there. Okay, and that's the last one. So we are made up from the Doctor Who now. The Inquisition I will do tomorrow morning, but I'm going to just go to you guys now. Back to you, chat. So let's take care of this. Self-produced show. One moment, folks. One moment. Boom. Okay. We'll get rid of that excess window. And thank you for your patience. Let's get to you. Emasculate, says Bryce Brierly. That's right. Pooh, man. Lady Gravemaster for $10. Gary, heads up. YouTube is acting funny. Quarter Black, myself, and many others are having issues with our subs page being blank when I went to channels I frequent. Wasn't sub from you, but I was from others. Yeah, there's something. Now, listen, that could be activity on the site and they're changing stuff structurally. Structurally, I can say that. Or they could be up to, because it's not the time for shenanigans with the ad money because they've already done that. We're in the next fiscal quarter, so that we're a couple months away from that. But that's happened to me in the past. Like I couldn't access my own channel. I noticed it was blank. But thank you for letting me know. No, there's definitely something going on. There's definitely something going on. Sargon got demonetized, I hear. And that's over ideology. Now, I need to look into this because there is no free speech on YouTube. But I'll say this to YouTube. I don't want to get on their bad side. I'm grateful for the platform, and they have never, ever screwed with me, okay? I've had one issue once that was CBS, copyright claimed me, and knocked my live streaming off for a little while. That was a while ago, but I haven't had a problem since. Occasionally, I get demonetized on Nerdrotic Live. It's no big deal. It really isn't. I honestly think YouTube lets me say what I want. I just try to keep it within reason. But Sargon of Akkad he's political and you might not like him, but he's not abusive. And I've seen enough of his work. Carl Benjamin is not abusive. He does not deserve to be demonetized. And what YouTube needs to be careful of, and you really need to listen to this, YouTube, the politicians here in California will come after you. Now, you might think you're all part of the same party, but when the politicians here in California sniff a little money, they're already trying to shut down a lot of shit. Here in San Francisco, they're trying to shut down pop-up shops. Now, we won't prosecute. Memology just put up a great video of all the idiots. Yeah, if somebody steals something and it's under $900, they don't prosecute. So people are literally walking into stores and just filling up their bags worth of $800 worth of shit, and nobody can do anything. You can't put your hands on them. You can't do anything. I can go to my old comic shop and I could rip off a big old stack of comics off the shelf and I could talk about it on a live stream and I won't get arrested, even with my priors. And I wouldn't do that because I have 2 strikes. But yeah. So if the politicians start noticing that we are technically, we're 1099, but we're kind of employees, and they could change the law like next year to where we are officially employees. They've done it already. And I'll warn you again, YouTube. So my wife owns a salon and she 1099 some people. She rented out chairs. Well, you can't do that anymore. You have to pay them hourly. Bet your ass it'll happen to YouTube. Trust me. And that kind of ends it. It's over when that happens. And it could happen. They're trying to squash this because you know what? The entertainment industry and the tech industry has taken advantage of H-1B visas. And I'm sorry to bore people with this. I'll get on to Dr. Who in a second, but they've taken advantage of the H-1B visas, the 6-month contracts. Hollywood is just as bad as the tech companies. And the state is catching on to this because they're not getting a lot of tax money. Okay. Now, these companies have been paying off the politicians to keep them off their back, but believe me, that only lasts for so long. So if you keep nuking channels without talking to them and treating them like respect, one of 2 bad things is going to happen. The state's going to come after you, the state of California, not the feds, the state, or even worse, and this is not anything I would ever be a part of, ever, a union. Okay, like some stupid YouTubers union. If you keep mistreating human beings, you want to talk about mental health and all that shit with YouTubers, treat them with respect. Tell people what they did wrong with their videos. Give them a chance to fix it. Or at least if you're going to nuke somebody, tell them specifically why. And that has to change. YouTube, you have to change that. I know there's a lot of people on the service, but you make a hell of a lot of money. And, especially, listen, it takes 5 minutes for somebody to go, you did it for this reason. Now, the reason they don't do it for that reason, because if they get specific, then litigation can start and stuff. But you're only going to get away with that for so long. Believe me, the state's going to crack down on that sooner than later, YouTube. And you know that. This is California. By the way, I'm leaving soon. Oh, Juan Soros, yes. Okay, tomorrow we get the Zikri interview. It's right here on my desktop. It's ready to go. I got to apologize to him. I've had no time. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate it. I just want to let you guys know it's not like I in between videos and live streams, I just walk around in my pajamas eating bonbons and watch live streams. I'm doing stuff. I'm doing a lot of stuff. But Juan, thank you. I mean, that shows you're interested. So I really appreciate that. And thank you for the $2. And Mark Zickery's awesome. Okay. I love that guy. If Hollywood was run by Mark Zickery, there would be no Fandom Menace. There would be no Comicsgate. There wouldn't be any of this shit. Mark Zickery, who is not a right-wing guy, has the best attitude of a creator I've ever heard. Ever. Right up there with Seth. Right up there with Jeff Fowler. Mark Zickery is good people. Problem being for £2. Hash Revolution of the Whovians. Pierced Wanger. Do one. Revolution of the Whovians. I like that. Problem being, I do like that. Maybe, okay, we got a year to plan this. Problem being, do we want to do a protest for the Christmas special? Do we want to try to do something to show our displeasure? I mean, I'll help. I don't know what to do, but give me time to think about it. And maybe we could do something to make some noise. But is anybody going to care? That's a lot of months a day. I would say we'd have to strike right now. We'd have to do something right now. And the shitty thing is, it hurts a lot of people. There's a lot of people who work for Big Finish and Big Chief who are going to get hurt. But they're going to get hurt anyway. And it's not us doing it, but the only power we have is with money, with our wallet. So we need to show it that way. I'm ready to just say, fuck them. You know what? The JodieBots can have this show. You can have it. You can wallow in obscurity. You won't have a show very long. And these are going to be the same assholes in a couple of years who are going to admit it was bad. Who are going to go, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I just needed something to reinforce my worldview, not entertainment. And that's what Doctor Who is. It's reinforcement for a worldview. It's not entertainment. So I want to take this moment. Thank you, Problem Being, and Problem Being again. You gave me the same one. Hashtag Revolution of the Whovians. Pierced Wanger. Do one. I like Revolution of the Whovians. Problem Being. I do. Cesario JPN for $2. To use a meme, press F to pay respects. Press F. Stopping by to, and thank you very much, Cesario JPN. Press F. Editor MG for $2. Stopping by to say hi. Hello, Editor MG. Thank you. Hello. Cheers. Cheerio. I've never listened to your show, but I need to step down and hand your channel. I've never listened to your show, but I need you to step down and hand your channel over to me. I want your mindless, devoted audience for my own end, says Daniel for $5. Oh, Daniel, that is the perfect segue. Oh my God, that is I know it was an hour ago, but that was the perfect segue. Let's talk about YouTube police, shall we? I'm going to do this once, okay? I don't usually talk about other YouTubers. It's a policy. I consider them coworkers. I quite frankly think YouTube drama is the most boring. Oh, look at you guys pressing F for respect. My hat is off. F. I don't like talking about other YouTubers because everybody has a right to their opinion, their take. They have a right to their channel. They have a right to whatever income they make of the channel, whether it's a hobby or an income. I don't shame anybody for making money. By the way, for anybody who like questions, what I do here, and often what is from the critics, what's often brought up is the money. This is my job. Now, my job was a hobby. It's still a hobby. I just happen to get paid for it. My attitude hasn't changed from 3 years ago when nobody was watching. I am just as passionate. I'm more passionate now than I was then. And I was pretty passionate. I was doing a podcast 2 to 3 times a month with nobody listening for years. For years. Because it was fun. I got to hang out with my friends and like 10 people would show up in our live stream and it was fucking great. I could have done that forever and worked my regular job and I've been fine. But guess what? The channel got big because of Doctor Who. The reason the channel got big is I got off the fence. I got off the fucking fence and I stopped worrying about what people want to hear and I just started telling the truth. And it's not like I wasn't telling the truth before, but I was withholding. Like I was pissed about Jodie, but I was trying to be fair. I didn't want to I didn't want to look like I was racist or sexist. I don't give a fuck. And it was partially a Jeremy video that came out and said, you know what? Find your voice. Don't give a fuck. And listen, that gets reinforced creatively all the time. The most recent version of A Star Is Born, which I actually like, with Lady Gaga. I actually like the movie, okay? But there's a scene where Bradley Cooper is talking to her, and he says the same thing. He says, find your voice. Don't care what anybody thinks. Don't use the voice you think you want, the voice you want other people to hear, or you think you want other people to hear, the voice you want to hear. Once I did that, things started changing. And it was just because I was mad. I decided to kind of take it easy on Doctor Who until I watched the episodes. I started watching the episodes and I lost my shit after the second episode. And the channel started growing. I didn't trick anybody into it. I didn't force anybody into it. I didn't force my way onto your phone or your tablet or your computer. You clicked on my face, as David Chappelle says. And I thank you for that. So in the Star Trek sphere right now, there's a couple of YouTubers who constantly bring up my name. One of these YouTubers I've never brought up on this channel and other than to defend this person. Okay. And I don't care if they bring up my name, and they can continue bringing up my name, and I'm not going to start any beef. I don't want anybody to go over there and start any shit with them. But the fact of the matter is I'm getting people super chatting me. I'm getting people DMing me. I'm getting people emailing me constantly that this guy's talking a lot of shit about you. And I'm like, why? I never talk about this channel. As a matter of fact, I met the guy who runs this channel at Star Trek Las Vegas, and he came up and he said he liked my stuff. We shook hands and it was cool. But apparently this person was whinging on about me and other members of under the hashtag the Fandom Menace. For one, it's a hashtag. So the Fandom Menace is not ruining Star Trek. That's the key here. Is there's an argument out there from certain Drekkies and certain pro Star Trek Picard or pro Star Trek YouTubers that the Fandom Menace is ruining Star Trek. No, Kurtzman is ruining Star Trek. I can't ruin Star Trek. I can't ruin anybody's enjoyment of Star Trek. I'm easily avoidable. Easily. I go out and I tell the truth. Maybe, just maybe, you don't like Star Trek. You're having a hard time with it. And what it's coming out, you're directing that energy towards the Fandom Menace. For one, the vast majority of the people who use the hashtag Fandom Menace do not watch Star Trek Picard. They don't have CBS All Access. They could give two shits about it. So when you're talking about Fandom Menace, you're talking about me. You're talking about Doomcock. You're talking about Midnight's Edge. You're talking about Mecha. And we have been talking about Star Trek for years now. And our tune really has it. You know where we're coming from. We don't like Kurtzman. I am open to it being good. I hope it's good. And if it's a good episode and it's written by Kurtzman, I will freely admit it. Are there moments in Star Trek Picard that I like? Brief, but yes. Is it as bad as Star Trek Discovery? No. But it's getting there. It's certainly getting there. But stop projecting at us. Okay? Whatever your frustrations are, if you want to blame me, that's fine, but it's not my fault. All right? So, if people want to constantly bring up the Fandom Menace and constantly openly question my honesty, my credibility, and that's Anti-Trekker and the Trek Yards. So I got a message for both of you. I'm being honest. I really don't like it. I'm not coming on the air every night and pretending not to like a show. Guess what? I would probably get the same amount of clicks if I liked it as opposed to I didn't. There might be a difference of 15,000. It's negligible. It's negligible. And I wouldn't care. My Mandalorian reviews were pretty much mediocre. I thought it was kind of good. Now, it depends on how you interpret them. I've heard that from people that I hated it. Now, no, if you listen to the end of every single one of the episodes, it got a 5, 6. A lot of them got a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is good. It's good. I thought The Mandalorian was passably acceptable, blandly competent storytelling. I thought it was too short, and it's basically a cartoon, live-action cartoon, but it was a good live-action cartoon sometimes. Sometimes it wasn't. It's no Witcher. It's no Umbrella Academy. It's no freaking Expanse. It's no Orville. All shows I love, by the way. Love. Not just like, love. Can't wait for Umbrella Academy Season 2. I recently saw Lock and Key. I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. Star Trek Picard is shit. The last 2 episodes were shit. And I'm telling the truth. Now, if you have a problem with that truth, there's a very easy solution. Don't worry about it. Worry about your own. Maybe, just maybe, you're seeing the same things I am and you're having a hard time working it out. I don't know. I'm just speculating. You're speculating about what's in my head. I guess I can speculate what's in yours just this once. So, Anti-Trekker's a friend. I love him. I do, unconditionally. But he's really projecting out loud way too much. So, yeah, if you want to keep doing it, I noticed, I hear, believe me, a lot of people are telling me all the time. And the thing is, it's not helping you. So pro tip, JL, talk about the show. If you talk about the show, good or bad, you'll get people talking about the show. The Fandom Menace has nothing to do with Star Trek. Again, Jeremy did a single video, and it did well, because I didn't tell him, I suggested that he watch Star Trek Picard, because Star Trek Picard is for normies. It's for people who don't like Star Trek. So he might have liked it. I'm like, they're actually making it for you. So tell me if you like it. And Jeremy was honest. And so am I. And listen, Alex Kurtzman is the one so I haven't seen this in print, but Midnight's Edge mentioned it today. He's the one who said he didn't want Trump supporters watching his show. I don't talk about politics, but I want Trump supporters watching my show. I want all supporters watching my show. I don't want anybody not watching my show. I think that's a stupid fracking thing to say. And then Sir Patrick Stewart going out and blabbing his freaking 80-year-old mouth in Variety about Brexit and Boris and Trump the week before his series airs was one of the dumbest things he's ever done. And it shows he's kind of an empty-headed actor. I know we love Sir Patrick Stewart, and a lot of people look up to him. He's an airhead. He's a bimbo. Sorry to say. That character he was playing in the bar with the eye patch, that's closer to Patrick Stewart than Jean-Luc Picard. He's a very talented actor, but he's kind of an empty head. in real life. And it shows. It shows. And to go out and do that and alienate half your audience, it's just idiocy. It's stupid. It's stupid. That doesn't mean I don't like him. He can have his views. I don't give a shit. But to go out there and bury your own show is just dumb. And this whole thing, the audience is finally showing its displeasure. And I think Hollywood is finally getting the message. Star Trek Picard is not doing well, folks. It's not doing well. Midnight's Edge just did a great video on the Star Trek situation. I highly suggest you go check it out. I've heard the almost word for word the same thing. I can back up what they said in their video. Classy people. So thank you, Daniel. Yes, so we have a lot of people filled with advice for me for my channel out of concern or whatever. And this is not Anti-Trekker or Trek Yards. Anti-Trekker and Trek Yards just said they hate all the negativity and we're just hating it to hating it. No, I'm speaking my mind. I'm not being nice about it. If you can't handle negativity, again, easily avoided. Easily avoided. But then Trek Yards admitted to not watching my stuff. So, you know what? I mean, like, you can pop off, but the audience hears that. And here's what happens. It's the collateral damage of your comments. You can't always ride the fence. I'm going to piss people off. I probably pissed somebody off tonight. I didn't mean to, but I'm trying to be honest. So when you're talking about, I'll use Midnight's Edge for an example. When another channel is talking about Midnight's Edge and they're dissing Midnight's Edge, you know what? You might share some audience with Midnight's Edge. So when you're disrespecting Midnight's Edge, somebody who likes both of your channels might feel disrespected. Especially when you say something like, I don't know what kind of people watch those channels. That's the kind of statement you got to watch out for, because those kind of people might be watching your channel too. So, if you're wondering why other channels grow and other channels don't, I can never completely figure it out. But the one thing I do know for a fact, talk about other channels, your channel won't grow. And that's why I'm done with it. So that's my pro tip. I wish them all the best. I met Captain Foley. I think it was Captain Foley, Trek Yards at Star Trek Las Vegas. Seems like a perfectly nice guy. And he can like Picard. Do you hear me talking shit about people who like Picard? I don't care. Like Picard. Like it all you want. Have fun. You know what? Dedicate your whole channel to liking it, and you'll probably build an audience, and you can make a couple of shekels doing what you love. How great is that? Getting more angry as the week progresses, says Java Bean for $2.99 Australia. I am too. I was more angry today than I was Sunday. I was numb Sunday. Noel asked me about this, and Noel, if you're still there. I was numb. The first 2 days I was numb. And if you see the beginning of our live stream, we could barely talk. Starry, myself, and Bulls Trek, we were speechless. And a lot of people in the chat were as well. But now I'm furious. I'm furious. I haven't been this fired up in a long time. Alejandro Escuerde. Alejandro. I like that name. I just like saying Alejandro. For 20 Mexican pesos. Please don't compare Mexican food with this. You know what? I apologize. I do. I did. The caveat was Mexican food is good. Woke storytelling is bad. I just couldn't think of a better analogy. No, Mexican food, Alejandro, is the food of the gods. It's my favorite food. I am from San Diego, California. So I'm like this close to Mexico. And I eat lots of Mexican food. I love it. It's not good for me, but I don't care. And I can't wait to go to San Diego and have another carne asada burrito from a taco shop called Roberto's or Gilberto's or Alberto's. My favorite is Juanita's in Leucadia, California. If you guys are ever in San Diego, it's worth the trip. Go up to North County, Leucadia, California. It's on the 101. It's right near some beautiful beaches. You go to Juanito's Taco Shop. You get a carne asada burrito. You get 3 rolled tacos with guacamole. You are in heaven. You're in heaven. You're in Southern California. and you're in the best part of California, by the way. San Diego is the cleanest, nicest city in California. It's not like San Francisco. It's, San Francisco's worse than LA, by the way. Way worse than LA. There's parts of LA that are nice, by the way. So, thank Alejandro. I love Mexican food. And I love Mexico. Viva la Mexico. Viva la raza. Showing the real doctors' faces after the timeless children tells me the show believes we all want to be white. Virtue signaling fail. Matt G for $5. Right? They failed in a lot of their wokeness. Matt G. I don't need a white doctor. There's a video on my channel before it got big. I think it's got like a couple hundred views. And it's my picks for the doctor. And I picked, I can't pronounce his name, the guy from 12 Days a Slave, who was the operative in Serenity. I wanted him to be the doctor. I think he would be freaking brilliant. The great Mark C for $5. I don't wish ill on anybody, but as Chris Jericho would say, Chris Chibnall, you just made the list. Mark C, I agree. I don't wish ill on anybody, but he is on my shit list. He's on my I wish he would go do something else list. I mean, we gotta, of course, we're always talking metaphorically, but Mark C, I know you are, you're a good man. Mr. CZVD for $5. I never thought I would long for the days when Tom Baker asks for donations on PBS. God, I long for those days. I got to find some of those. I got to find some of that video. I've been obsessed with finding old Tom Baker interviews. I've been watching a ton of them. He is funny, man. Been a Who fan for 37 years. 37 years. And this is Orchnestra for $5. Shoring up classic Who collection that I'm washing my hands of it. It's a travesty. Torching 57 years of history like that. Orchnestra for $5. I hope like hell somebody from the BBC is watching this live stream, watches my last one, watches everybody else's live stream. And through the emotion, I hope they listen. I hope they really listen that these are fans who care. Okay. This is caring. You know what? People enabling this shit, that's not caring. That's a channel wanting to protect its, Doctor Who status. It's sad. It's sad. I don't know how any Who fan could be okay with this. If you're okay with this, then you're just, yeah. Enabler. Tone's review for $2 Australian. Have given up on Star Trek Picard. I think a lot of people have. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers, Tones. They're way down. Look at Will Wheaton's Ready Room. Let's take a look. Ready Room. Okay, 6 days ago. Here's his Impossible Box recap. Here, I got to pause it. Ha! That's a good pause right there. Ah, that's good. That is good. Oh my God, I'm so soy. Look at this. Will Wheaton. So soy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. There, I'll put him and Jodie right up there. Will Wheaton. Will. Oh, you guys didn't see. I'm sorry, I didn't show you the views. I got to show you the views. It's 44,000. This is really top-notch pro shit right here. Here we go. 44,000. I mean, that's not terrible, right? For a YouTube video. If I did a Picard review, that'd be a little low for me. But I mean, listen, anytime somebody watches your stuff, it's great. It depends on what kind of channel you are. Now, if you're the channel Like if you're like and you put 3 or 4 videos up a day, that's actually really good because videos step on videos and it depends on how much time you put into it. Now, for me, I do a video every 3 days. So my benchmark is, the lowest I want it to be is 80,000 to 100. Sometimes you hit it, sometimes you don't. It's all good. But this is CBS All Access. This is a $1 billion corporation and it has 44,000 views. This is the place to go, supposedly, for Star Trek Picard after show. I think part of the problem is I don't think it's live and I don't think it's interactive, which is, stupid on their part. It's pre-recorded or whatever. I'm going to leave that right there for a second because that's just funny. But that's no excuse. Now, if the first week, if we go to the first week, let's go Remembrance. There it is right there. There's almost 200,000 views. 200,000 views for Remembrance. Now, they also embedded this video in lots of advertising because when I first saw this video, and I have a screen cap of it, it was 9 hours old and it had 5,000 views. So all the views came from advertising. Let's go take a look at the likes. Let's go take a look at the likes to dislikes. Yep, 6,000. I don't know if you guys can see this. 6,000 likes. Okay. To 461 dislikes on this video. That is not consistent with the video with 200,000 views. A video with 200,000 views should have 12,000 to 16,000 likes. So this video got a lot of help from its embedded advertising. Those are basically fake views. Those are embedded advertising could run the video automatically. The YouTube allows this with the big corporations. Yeah, so that's bullshit. That's bullshit. But still, it got almost 200,000. Now he's getting 44,000. That is what you call a metric. That is what you call data. That is what you call disinterest in fucking Star Trek Picard. Damn straight. Damn straight. All right. Gary, did you get my email? At your Gmail account, it was the BS reply I got from the BBC. Darlurian01 for £5. I will check. Give me just a mo. Do you have the same as your email, the same as your handle right here? Often people ask that, but you don't have the same. My response letter from the BBC. Thank you for contacting us with your feedback on the Doctor Who Series 12 finale. Doctor Who is a beloved, long-time running series, and we understand that some people... I'm reading an actual response from the BBC here. I can't show the email, obviously, but we'll just say it's a person. It's a BBC complaint number CAS 5951647T9T3Q4. Doctor Who is a beloved long-running series, and we understand that some people feel attached to a particular idea they have of the Doctor, or that they enjoy certain aspects of the program more than others. Opinions are strong, and this is indicative of the imaginative hold that Doctor Who has. No, Doctor Who had. That so many people engage with it so many different levels. We wholeheartedly support the creative freedom of the writers, and we feel that creating an origin story is a staple of science fiction writing. So this was an origin story to them. What was written does not alter the flow of the stories of William Hartnell's brilliant Doctor onwards. It just adds new layers and possibilities to the ongoing saga. Fuck you, BBC! Fuck you! Fuck you in your fuckhole! We also received many positive reactions to the episode's cliffhanger. I'm sure you fucking did. I'm sure you received one positive reaction to the fucking 10,000. There are still a lot of questions to be answered, and we hope that you will come back to join us and see what happens. No, we won't. Get fucked. But we appreciate that it's impossible to please all of our viewers all of the time, and your feedback has been raised with the program's executive producer. Hey, Chris Chibnall, suck a dick. Kind regards, BBC Complaints Team. Go fuck yourself. I got a little mad. Sorry. Holy shit. Oh. Hang on a second. I'm going to return that favor. Where is my buddy Bowles Trek? All right, I'm going to use the end of Bowles Trek video here to use this. Here we go. I have a suggestion, BBC. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Hang on, I just screwed something up. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that looks good. All right. So what we have here is the make a complaint number. You can call 24 hours a day. 03700100022. These strange European phone numbers. I don't understand them. They look very foreign to me. Here you go. Here's the BBC complaint line. Please note it down, be respectful, and show that you're very unhappy with this decision. I would love for a lot of people to call. Now, if they're going to charge you money and you don't have a lot of money, don't do it. Don't rack up your cell phone bill or anything like that, you know. But I mean, if you're got a little extra cash to burn, sure, give them a call. I probably should have ended my video with this, like Bolt. This is from Bolt. By the way, subscribe to Bolt's Trek. This is from his channel. So here. Oh, whoops. See, I'm totally caught. I was watching Preston Jacobs. Yep, I was watching Prepping for Winter. There he is, right there. That's my buddy. Bolt's Trek. Please subscribe to Bolt's Trek. Oh my God, we need to get him to 50K. Bolt's Trek 50K. Let's make it happen. Yeah. Oh, look, Nick Ricada's live. I didn't mean to click on that either. Hi, Nick. Okay. Nick Ricade is a good channel too. I subscribe. I don't think I've ever yelled on a live stream like that. I'm not sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I probably shouldn't have said Chris Chibnall suck a dick. That was probably not a very nice professional thing to say. So I won't make a habit of that. But he can suck a dick. Greetings from a Nerdrotic from Australia. R.I.P. Doctor Who. Mr. Grant Gregory for $2 Australian. We are Nerdrotic. I am not Nerdrotic. We're all Nerdrotic. It's a state of mind. I'm trying to think of the most pretentious way to put it. It could be a sexual reference or a nerd reference, whatever you choose. The story of Nerdrotic was I misheard a friend of mine. I thought he said Nerdrotic. I was at the comic store doing my thing, and he was talking about some comic, and I thought I heard him say that was Nerdrotic. I'm all, Nerdrotic. That's kind of cool. I'm going to keep that someday. And this was back in 2010. So I went to GoDaddy and I bought the domain name immediately so I could just have it and didn't think about it for a while. I didn't even start my podcast as Nerdrotic. I wanted to save it. And yeah, so it could be either erotic or neurotic or both. Daniel, thank you for Lady Gravemaster for $10. Daniel, thank you for supporting Nerdrotic and his mission to provide a haven for true nerds. Your donation helps strengthen Gary's channel even more in the algorithm. Have a pleasant day. Yes. R.I.P. Doctor Who 19. I think, Lady Gravemaster, I think if you're talking about Daniel, I think he was being sarcastic. I think he was being sarcastic. I don't know if, Daniel's one of us for sure. So I think he was being, I don't know if you must have said, you both are on the same side. You're both very cool people. But I mean, sometimes maybe I'm misunderstanding. Sometimes there's misunderstandings in chat. Believe me, Daniel's the real deal. He's ride or die. Nano Reaper, and so are you, Lady Gravemaster, and you're cool. Although we don't want to be ride or die with the Fandom Menace. I am 1,000% against that, okay? Anybody can be Fandom Menace. Even people who like The Last Jedi. All you have to be able to do is spell it. There are no dues or fees. There are no fucking rules. There's no gatekeeping. That gatekeeping stuff is bullshit. Now, as far as gatekeeping on my personal channel, that's not gatekeeping. People, by the way, another thing our critics say is we gatekeep people out of the Fandom Menace. No, we don't. Those people can be a part of the Fandom Menace if they want to, but those people who are saying they're being gatekept by the Fandom Menace are gatekeeping themselves. Nobody's gatekeeping them. Now, if you're talking about being on a particular channel, there's a thing called freedom of association. I will associate whoever the hell I want to. If you're going to come on this channel, I got to be able to trust you, or you got to be a channel I like. And I'll let most anybody on my channel. There's only a couple people I wouldn't let on my channel. And that's because they have shown that they are not trustworthy. That's it. But I'll talk to anybody. It's funny is all the critics out there. I've checked my DMs. I've checked my email. I've checked my Facebook Messenger. Not a single message. It's weird. It's so funny that I don't get a single message, but they want to talk, if they want to work something out, like DM me, email me. I'll talk to anybody, but I'll let most people on my channel. But not all. Not all. Nano Reaper for $2. Doctor Who, rest in peace. 1963 to 2020. Yep. I mean, it was really 2017, but 2020, killed it dead. Rosetta Allen, I will check my DMs in a bit. Thank you for the $2. Which ones? Twitter? Hang on. Let me go to Twitter. Is that about the video? Is that about the video from Star Wars for Life? Ruthie, I'll get to you. I've been, a little inside baseball. When I record my videos, I shut myself off to the world. Trust me, ask Mrs. Nerdrotic. She hates it, but no distractions when I'm making my videos. As a single dad, I stopped watching last season. I would too, especially after that episode. That was a big middle finger to single dads, Mr. CCDV. Thank you very much for the $2. Blue-eyed Scorpio for $4.99. Never be cruel, never be cowardly, and never go woke. Damn straight. Blue-eyed Scorpio for $4.99. Absolutely. Jody Bowie. Oh, what's up, Jody? For $2. You look dapper for the live, Gary. R.I.P. Doctor Who. Why? Thank you. I appreciate it. Emerald Dreams for 100 Australian dollars. And say something. Emerald, if you got a question, just pop it in the chat and I'll answer it. Hit @Nerdrotic. Who said I'm staying in Arizona? Asked Sharon Osborne for $49.99. Nobody was saying you're staying in Arizona, but maybe I'll move there.
Sharon! Maybe I'll move there. I don't know. Is it getting as lame as California? California's getting freaking lame. What's up, DJ? What's up, DJ? How's it going, man? Welcome to the chat. Sharon, we love you. Thank you for the $49.99. Philomax. Oh, it's good to see you, Philomax. For Australian $5. Now, Doctor Who has been destroyed. I'm more worried that they'll go after next. Oh, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. It's the only one that's left. Like James Bond's going to get it right in the rear end. Luckily for all of us, it got delayed. They're saying it's coronavirus. I don't believe that. Call me skeptical. Walking by Self for $5. Not much of a Who fan, but I enjoyed the previous Doctors for the little I did watch. From the latest coverage of this Doctor Who, I won't enjoy it again. No, you won't. Don't watch it. It's been undone. The show has been completely undone. And they don't sound sorry. They're calling this an origin story, folks. So this is real. It's not some trick of the master. I know I've seen a lot of the people defending this going, this won't stick. No, this is an origin story. The BBC, that's what the BBC just called it. An origin story. BBC, undo it or you're dead. That's it. Undo it or you're dead. Nobody's going to count this shit. So your big origin story. This should have been the biggest Doctor Who episode ever. And I mean ever. You just gave the Doctor an origin and it was one of the lowest rated episodes of all time. And it was a season finale. You're screwed. BBC's response to my complaint was the same cut and paste woke plantation others got. Says Hobbs for $9 for $5. Yeah. Hey everybody. Please email me your BBC responses. And I'm sure they're all the same, but please email them to me. I will make them a part of my next video. Okay. Gary at nerdrotic.com. If you have time. I will not post any of your names or anything. I'll keep I'm just going to put the shot. Now, you can put in there if you want me to put your first name in but I won't put anybody's last name in or your handle, whatever your online handle is. But you have my word. Nobody's private information or anything will be put up, but I do want to post your responses. I want to just see how many we got. Now, you know what? The BBC, I'm mad. I'm dedicating my channel to this shit for the next week. I will do my Picard review, but it's all Doctor Who all the time for the next 3 days because I'm that fucking mad. And no, it's not getting better. I thought I would calm down. And that's, listen, that's part of the reason I wasn't sleeping very well. A stupid fucking show. And you know what? It's one thing to just have a bad idea. Like if it wasn't woke craziness and they did this, I'd still be mad. But the fact that this was a political decision, like a partisan political decision, makes it just so irritating. I think both sides can recognize the reason Brexit happened, the reason the Orange Man is in office is because of shit like this. You're not fucking listening to people. And guess what? You're losing people every fucking day. My friends on the left don't sound familiar to me anymore. They don't. I don't know. They sound like weirdo Puritans. They sound like the PMRC. Fucking losing me. A long time ago. But seriously, that's why this shit's happening. You need to customer service for all. Customer service for all. Cardinal Sin for $5. I mourn the loss of my favorite show, but it had to be put down. A vandal came in and ripped it up with glee, and he still is, and nobody does anything. Cardinal Sin, yes. At this point, you're right. Put it down. You're right. Be done with it. Be done with it. We'll voice our displeasure. Let's rage into the night. And then apathy. Fuck it. I guarantee you, if we would have all walked away, the ratings would be worse. They'd probably be under 3 million overnight in the UK. I promise you 1 million people were watching it to hate watch it. Easy. I had 4,000 people in my live stream on Sunday. 4,000. So people were mad. Sharon, did you already? Okay. Who said I'm staying in Arizona? Asked Sharon for $1.99. I did. You're staying in Arizona. Culture Casino for $5. By the way, Sharon Osbourne, you're hilarious. You're hilarious. Culture Casino for $5. Hail, Gary, can you tell us about your comic shop again? Some of us need to drink after this episode. Okay, sure. So I used to own a comic shop in San Francisco. I used to own it from 2003 to 2013. I used to own it for 10 years. I used to own this comic shop. It was on Ocean Avenue. I really liked the comic shop I used to own. I used to sell comics at the comic shop I used to own. I used to sell Doctor Who toys at the comic shop I used to own. I used to do Doctor Who viewing parties at the comic shop I used to own. I packed that place, especially during the 50th anniversary at the comic shop I used to own. What happened to the comic shop I used to own? Well, it got pretty damn successful. I won Best of the Bay in 2009. Took on a business partner, and it helped for a little while. Then it went to complete shit. And then I started smelling my own farts like Chris Chibnall, and I decided to take up a cocaine habit. And then it wasn't the comic shop I used to own anymore. Had to sell it. Had to go to rehab. And I watched a lot of Doctor Who. And here I am. I hope you're sufficiently drunk from that. Lady Gravemaster for $2. Drinker made the perfect analogy in his vid. Hats off to Vinker. See, I'm getting tired. You, Bulls, and Crit have been killing it on Who. The tragedy occurred in 2017, but you've made a silk purse out of a sow's ears. Aw, Augustine, thank you. That was actually very nice to say. How do you say your last name? Quinla for $5. Thank you, Augustine. Lady Grandmaster, I will make sure, I promise I'm going to listen to Drink's video when I'm done. I saw it came out, but I didn't have time to watch it beforehand, but I always watch Drinker's videos like twice. So I hope mine is decent. I don't ever expect to be as good as Drinker's because I'm not as good of a YouTuber as Drinker is, and I'm okay with that. I don't need to be number one. I'm okay with being a middling. Keely Ann, what's up, Keely, for $10? Can anyone pilot a TARDIS nowadays? No. You notice she's never in her fucking TARDIS. She's never in the action. And the episode that changed Doctor Who forever, the Doctor stood there with her fucking mouth open, just like the audience. Fat Freddy's Cat is now a member at the proto-molecule level. Welcome. Members only live stream this Saturday, 12. The Dude 1764 for $4.99. Chibs actually created a new Who monster, Woke Time Whammon, capable of destroying an epic franchise on both sides of the fourth wall. The dude abides. The dude abides. Thank you very much. Nicholas Horton for £2. The Amazon Lord of the Rings series is in the shithole. Did something happen? I know they got a Doctor Who actor. I know you're trying to it's in the shithole. I hope not. I want that to be good. But it's got bad robot people on it. And you know what? I know a lot of people are excited for the Batman. I know people are just freaking out over the Batman. My expectations are tempered. It looks pretty cool. The costume, not crazy about the costume, but it's okay. I mean, I'll live with it. It's fine. I saw the Batmobile. It looks okay. Here's my personal problem as a comic fan with the Batman. It's got bad robot people. Matt Reeves is a bad robot person. Jar Jar Abrams. Jar Jar Abrams is bad robot. Alex Kurtzman is bad robot. The two guys running Lord of the Rings were supposed to direct Star Trek 4. They're from Bad Robot. Go look at their IMDb. Do you know how many things they've written? Zero. But they're bad robot people. I've not had a good experience. I know Matt Reeves has done a couple of good things, and hopefully he does, and hopefully Jar Jar Abrams isn't producing, but he's at DC now. So here's what I personally don't need from a Batman movie. His fucking origin again. I'm sorry. I've seen the Waynes die enough. I've seen Batman. For one, we got Batman Begins. Batman Begins is the perfect starting for Batman. We have never had an established Batman. Closest thing we've had is Batman Returns. Batfleck, Batman in Snyder Batman is Batman towards the end. So we've had Batman just starting, Batman towards the end, one kind of established Batman, but we've never had an established Batman with a functioning Batcave, Alfred, Robin, Catwoman, full rogues gallery of villains. Not early Batcave. I mean, 10 years in, an Arkham Asylum, none of that. We've never had that in live action movies. That's what we need. That's what we want. I don't want fucking Year One. Year One's a decent comic, but quite frankly, the story's old now. It's just Batman as a vigilante fighting some thugs. I want to see Batman, and I know the Penguin is going to be in this, and we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope it's great. I want it to be good. I'm happy to hear there's a couple villains. I just want established Batman, and I want a real costume. The most comic book accurate costume is Ben Affleck's from Superman versus Batman. I'm sorry, I give Superman top billing on that one. I'm kind of a Snyder Cut guy. I don't think they're the greatest films ever made, but I think it should be released. I have never been more crushed by a TV show than when I saw Fonzie jump the shark episode when it first aired. An epic in comparison. Rest in peace, Doctor Who. Exactly. Jumping the shark. Actually, you know what? I'll be honest with you. When I was a kid, I thought that was awesome. All the kids the next day at school who were like 7 and 8 loved it. That's all we were talking about. Did you see Fonz jump the shark? We thought it was great. We had no idea how lame it was. Gary, you look like you look effing awesome, bro. Well, thank you. Orville Nation. Yeah, maybe I should have a dress code at my work. This is an actual bowler hat made out of horsehair, PETA, and I bought it at the Top Shop in London, where Winston Churchill used to buy his hats. The great Winston Churchill. Hail Winston Churchill. I don't care about his flaws. I don't care. Man was a fucking hero. I'm an Anglophile. I love the Brits. I love Australians. I love Italians. I do. I was in Sicily last year. Fantastic. The people are super cool there. Like, totally cool. It just makes you realize we have so much more in common with everybody, and the mainstream media, the access media, and the powers that be want to keep us divided. You know what? Who brought people together? Brought so many people together. And now it is the nastiest freaking fan base out there. I don't want any part of it. I think there's a clear line of demarcation between Jodie Who and Who. There he goes. Noel says, "Rest in peace, Doctor Who." Thank you, Noel. It's I know you're upset, and I feel bad for you, man. I mean, I know you care, and there's no shame to your game. That's what I love. That be upset, feel your feelings. Feel your feelings. If you're fucking mad, you can be mad, and don't let people shame you and say, "Why do you care? It's just a TV show." You know what? I'm sure there's about 50 things in that person's life you could do the same. Don't do it. But, like people who are in the sports ball, they're like screaming over a football team, which I used to do. Why do you care? It's just a game. and they'll look at you crazy, but those same people will ask us why we care about Star Wars or whatever. Speaking of Star Wars, I'll say this again. Doctor Who just had its Last Jedi. So if you are a Doctor Who site, if you are a Doctor Who channel, I will say think long and hard about where you come down now. I'm not saying choose a side. I'm just saying there's a lot of channels out there that backed up The Last Jedi when they probably didn't really like it, but they were afraid to say the truth, and they're paying for it now. They're paying for it now. You lose credibility. Just speak the truth. If you like the episode, if you genuinely like it, fine. But I'm guessing there's a lot of people out there who didn't genuinely like it, but they're going to say they do to keep their job, to keep in line. That doesn't change anything. Gibbon Manland for $5 Australian. Cannot wait for the BBC to lose public funding. Neither can I. I hope it happens sooner than later. They may destroy Doctor Who, but bow ties will always be cool, says Christian Suda for $5. Yes, they are. When they're on Matt Smith, for sure. I couldn't find my bow tie. Mech for $50. My advice, make this your last reviewed Doctor Who episode ever. Don't give the BBC a damn click. No promotions whatsoever, negative or otherwise. Let interest in the show die and await the cancellation. Mech, you're not wrong. Thank you for the $50. That's what I'm playing around with in my head. I don't know if I can do it though, but I'm strongly considering doing my week of Doctor Who rage and fuck off after that. It will get canceled. Oh, it's going to get canceled. Again, they just that should have been just like The Fall of Skywalker should have been a $2 billion movie. This should have been one of the most watched Doctor Who episodes. But, when they brought in Ruth, if they really wanted to make that legit, you would bring in David Bradley as the first Doctor and have the first Doctor talk to Jodie. Oh, I'm sorry, he's not the first Doctor anymore. It just adds more choices. We have more choices. There's more people now. There's more people. They could have added more people later. You didn't have to go in and destroy the Doctor's origin. Fuck you, BBC. Origin story. It's our story. It's just imaginative. I know some people have problems with certain elements because you're Nazis and everything. And why we really don't want you as fans. We appreciate your point of view, but ours is right because we're the BBC and our farts smell so good. Our farts are good for the environment. Greta is going to come work for us. Fucking Boris, shut that shit down. How dare you? They do have an option to course correct. They do have an option to course correct if they boot Shibs and Whittaker remembers the Volyard being the evil Doctor. Could be used to fix Who. Says Philomax for Australian for $5. They're not going to do it. They're going to undo a little black girl as the first Doctor. The sun will rise in the west first. Cannot wait for BBC to lose public funding. I read that one. Chumley 73 for $10. I have a very clever solution to the whole mess to reset everything. I have a lot of writing experience and have spent over $100,000 on merch over the years. Do you think it's worth to pitch it? Chumley 73 for $10. Having spent pretty close to what you have on Doctor Who merchandise, no. I mean, we're all working through this in our own ways, Chumley. And in all seriousness, it's dead, man. I'm sorry. I really am. It's not dead in your heart, but there will be no more new Who for you or for me. Anything they do from here on out doesn't count because they just fucked everything. William Hartnell is no longer the first Doctor. That hasn't sunk in with a lot of people. Tom Baker is no longer the fourth Doctor. I mean, it's unbelievable what they did. It was unnecessary. It was mean. It was fucking mean. They did that, and they're loving this reaction right now. You kidding me? They're fucking laughing their fucking asses off right now at the BBC. And the funny thing is, you know, that's why I can't be quiet. I want to, Mech, but they're laughing right now, and I want to be here in a couple of years to laugh my ass off when they get canceled. Laugh my ass off. I'm going to do a 10-minute video of me fucking laughing with my middle finger. I'm going to do American and British. Yeah. No, I'm not going to fucking forget this shit. I know it'll blow over with a lot of people. Come Christmas, I'm not going to forget this shit. I hope everybody boycotts the Christmas episode. Don't watch the Christmas episode. Boycott Doctor Who Christmas. Fuck it. I'm going to say it. Don't watch it. Watch something else. Listen, they come crawling back to Christmas when they need it. Although they don't want to identify with a specific religious holiday because that would be terrible. That might upset some people. Some people might get offended. No, the only people who are worried about it is the BBC. I guarantee you, there's probably 0 Muslims who give a shit if Doctor Who's on Christmas. I guarantee you there's 0. I know like people like Svi Lebetkin could give a shit if Doctor Who's on Christmas. I don't give a shit if Doctor Who's on Christmas. And I'm not even religious. It's the BBC who gives a shit. I just got here and take a big old hot sip of misplaced positivity. Hail, Gary. Here's one for you. Cheers. Ashley Harmon. Thank you for the $5. I'll take the positivity from you, Ashley. I appreciate it. Blade Devil is an RGE graphic novel on Indiegogo. Oh, well, you got to let me know that, Fatman56. Thank you very much for $2. So check out Blade Devil on Indiegogo. Ashley, thank you very much. I'm not feeling very positive. They killed my show and they desecrated the corpse. And your show, our show. But it's their show. And then I just read a BBC response letter, and that's the first time I've wanted to hit something in a decade. If the BBC was a dude, I would punch it in the mouth. Alfred McKay, metaphorically. Thanks, Gary, for recommending starting with the Fourth Doctor. I am hooked. It's true, man. Very therapeutic against depression. It is. Much obliged, my friend. Alfred McKay, $6.99 for the $6.99 Canadian. Doctor Who and Star Trek are 2 of the most therapeutic shows ever. That's why they're so popular. They're perfectly balanced in their tone. There's still stakes. Things still feel real, but it doesn't get too crazy, and it doesn't get too bombastic or too violent or too silly. There's a perfect balance with both Star Trek and Doctor Who that makes it a good escapism. Why in the hell do you think it connected with so many people? And why in the hell there's a commonality with nerds? A lot of nerds suffer from depression. Don't be shamed. Don't be shamed by that at all. It's just a commonality that I've noticed through selling a lot of comics and being in nerddom all my life since I was 5 years old. There's nothing wrong with that. It's where we go to cope, and they don't realize that. The franchise holders have no idea, probably never had. But that is a major factor into why they are popular. The Doctor 14 Blu-ray reviews. You should watch the Omega Files with the Dr. Freedom, a better review than yours because the guests all different point of view. And he said canon was not broken because canon has always been changing. Dr. Freedom is full of shit. Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews. Dr. Freedom disrespected my friend Noel, shamed my friend Noel, called him a loser in life. So tell Dr. Freedom to clean his room. But thank you, Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews. I'm sure he had a better review than I did. And I'll say again, if you're a Doctor Who channel and you're okay with that, all right. You're doctor free to have your opinion. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Dr. Freedom anymore. And it's directly due to his treatment of Noel and what he said to Noel. And I don't care what spawned it. The guy's supposedly a content creator, but that's what they've gone to. They've gone to personal attacks and, yeah. Trolita for $9.99. The Doctor is now a roll of the dice with every regeneration. Patient Zero Time Lord, special god with no full memory of past lives. The Doctor is now a blank character, no definable traits or limitations. Trolita for $9.99. That's exactly why it's lame. And guess what? It'll be it's already irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Listen. You know Doctor Who's about to die because they did roll all the dice on this one. You're right, Trolita. I'm not going to deny it there. They tried the female gimmick, didn't work. And now they did this. And they've only got one more card left to play. Bringing back a big-time Doctor. That's the only card they've got left to play. And I mean full-time. But they won't do it. Critical Drinker nailed it today, as did you, says 200 Watt Studios. Cheers. I'm sure Drink nailed it. And I'm glad you think I did. Yeah, and I broke a rule about talking about other YouTubers today, but it's in defense of somebody else. So somebody else who doesn't have as big of a channel. So that person was punching down. And you know what? Calling somebody a loser in life, it's like, dude, you know what? You could disagree with the opinions of a show, and that's where I direct that. But like getting personal, man, it's like it's classless. It's classless. I probably shouldn't have said clean his room, but he is a grown ass man. I did see the back of his room. It was pretty nasty. Nah, the retcon fix is easy. Everything from Lake Capaldi on is a simulation for purpose of extracting Time Lord juice for the Master, says Canary. I like that for $5. I would take that. I'm a Master fan at this point. I hope the Daleks come in and kill everybody. Silver-sided squirrel for Canadian $5. I can't watch the Doctor and Picard go down in 1 year. I know they're failing together. Also, Az idea was awesome. Yeah, the Az's idea was brilliant. The Timeless Child being the Master makes way more sense. Way more sense. I gave up on Doctor Who, R.I.P. Doctor Who, 1963 to 2020. Says the Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews for £2. Yeah, dude. I mean, like, come around, folks. They screwed us all. Now, if you're going to be a cheerleader for a dying show, well, I admire your misguided loyalty. No, I really don't. You're a shill. You're a shill. No, there's channels out there who like to call themselves experts. That's the funniest thing, is they're experts. Now, there's Doctor Who channels where they know more Doctor Who lore than I do. I've never claimed to be a Doctor Who expert. I'm just a big fan. Never claimed to be a Star Trek expert. I'm actually probably not an expert in anything, but I know a lot about a lot of things. Like, I don't know as much about A Song of Ice and Fire as Preston Jacobs, but I know way more than your average A Song of Ice and Fire fan. I could win trivia contests. Lord of the Rings, I'm decent. I'm decent on the main books. The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Decent. Marvel Comics, I'm pretty damn good. DC Comics, I'm pretty damn good from 1979 up. 1979 back, not so good. Star Trek, I know more about the original series than I do TNG because I watched original series more. I like DS9 more. And believe it or not, I like Voyager. And I do like TNG. I do. But Picard was not my favorite character. Actually, Data was. Data and Worf. And let's see. Game of Thrones, I knew a lot. Yeah. I just know a lot about a lot of stuff, but I don't know everything about everything. But to anybody who goes out on YouTube and calls himself an expert, for example, like Captain Foley thinks he knows a lot about Star Trek. I know she's about 32 now, but she was a kid when she came in my store. She knows more than him about, she's forgotten more than him about Star Trek. And she's probably two decades younger than he is. But there's this girl who came into my shop who had a photographic memory. So she could remember like what the weather was when she was 6. And she was a Star Trek fan. And she was insane. She was like Google. It was so weird. So don't ever think you're the expert on Star Trek. Don't call yourself a Trek spurt or a Doctor Who spurt, because there's always a bigger fish. Nick Seizing Mages 315 for $5. So disappointed by Doctor Who. I love the show, but I'm done. R.I.P. Doctor Who. Yep, be done. Will we get a proper conclusion to the cult of Frisco? Oh, Christ, Captain. Fucking Destiny Captain. The cult of Frisco that was my first podcast on YouTube. My first podcast, period. The first podcast on my website. My first podcast was The Time of the Doctor. I had a cold. I had the wrong microphone on, and you can hear that. My son is my co-host. And so it's supposed to be a play on the cult of Scarro. Because nobody from San Francisco calls it Frisco, but I'm not from San Francisco, so I'll call it fucking Frisco all I want. So it's supposed to be a play. That was my first podcast. So maybe. There's still a Facebook page out there, and I think there's still a YouTube channel. I mean, I don't even know the password to it anymore, to be honest with you. 200-watt studio for $5. So Romana, Mary Tam, Layla Ward is descendant of a child murderer. Yes, she's descendant of a child murderer. That is so fucking stupid. Bear Business for $20. R.I.P. Doctor Who. Sorry, Gary, for the loss of one of your joys. I am only a 9th through 12th Doctor fan, so I don't have the investment, but it's still sad to see a fandom in so much pain. Damn, my numbering is wrong now. Chibnall blows. You're right. Bear Business 1. Yes, this is a fandom in mourning. I mean, fuck. Fuck them. Destiny Captain for $1.99. We still have Inspector Spacetime, right? Yes, we do. We do. Cecil says, what's up, Cecil? Hail, brother. Is adult only entertainment content. $2. The Time Lords are clones of Palpatine. Brilliant. Yeah, they might as well be. Same shit. Same day. Happens the same day, Cecil. What's up, brother? Dustin Rogers for $2. They act like River Song didn't even happen. Yeah, she gave up all of her regenerations for nothing. The doctor's a dick. Alejandro, thank you for the $20. Kanbe Rania messing up with him, and Susan rescue the doctor. Yes. Can Susan rescue the doctor? I don't know. Draketh Namikaze for $1.99. It's a travesty that Anas lost his suit. Shame. It is. Oh, it's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But that's what happens when you take on big lawyers. And you know why they won the argument. They said you can't copyright a real-life tardigrade. They didn't say we didn't rip it off. They're saying you can't copyright a real-life tardigrade. So they fucking ripped it off. Oh, they did. They just have better lawyers. All the more reason not to watch their show. They could have easily just settled with them. Ginger Hosley for $12. I'm hosting artist apps for a 12th Doctor charity calendar because 12's my boy. Anybody interested, go to Twitter at Rathsome, and that's at RATHZ as in zebra, EM. So Rathzem for info. Closes on March 9th. Proceeds will go to humanitarian relief in Venezuela. Again, that is Ginger Hosley for So go to @Rathzma, Rathzem. And she's taking some art for a calendar for her 12th Doctor. I love it. Ginger, email me. I'll blast that out. Dragon Lord Jeremy for $5. Duncan MacLeod was the source of the source. Connor MacLeod and Ramirez stole the source, deeged him, and erased his memory. Kurgan now makes sense. It kind of does. Oh, that's right. Highlander 2 is something I block out of my head. And I watched the television show sparsely, but the first Highlander movie is gold. It's pure gold. I wish the UK had primaries like the US to stop us from having a female PM, says the Doctor 14 Blu-ray reviews. Oh my God, you're so funny. Nobody is against a female PM. Nobody's against a female president. I am anti-asshole. It depends, though. If the asshole's like a good kind of go-getter asshole, though, I'm anti-nihilist assholes. Brian Yoder for $2. Hashtag Trenzalore. Right, Trenzalore. Oh, man, that's meaningless now, too. Michael McCormick for $1.99. Rowan Atkinson would be brilliant as a Doctor. He would. Absolutely. Jeremy Lovechild B. Oh my gosh. Jeremy Lovechild B. So you're Ryan's brother? I'm OCD. How do I catalog my Who collection now that doc numbers don't exist? That's why I alphabetize mine. You alphabetize it. Guys, gals, I want you to pound the BBC on the numbering not existing anymore. I want you to, just flood them with questions on Twitter, on their phone calls. Go, how do I do this now that it's not the first Doctor? How do I fix this packaging? How do I fix the packaging? It doesn't matter. Does it? I've got to check. Well, maybe they just know merchandising doesn't matter anymore, so it just doesn't matter. We can get more. Hartnell still exists. Oh, they did this to piss us off, folks. And it worked. I hope they enjoy the last spike of interest in their show. This is the last flash of people giving a shit. And once this is over, it's over. You can get all the hack shill access media you want, but the access media is irrelevant now. And we will see. Nobody gives a shit now. Nobody was giving a shit before. Clark Praston, Clark Prasad, Chrononaut, Griot Katha Teller. Oh man, that is some Greek shit or no, Latin. I don't know. Watched Doctor Who from India. Saw the classics. Formed local fan group. Traveled to Cardiff. Spent my savings to experience. And now this. Now it has not the plot, but an agenda for social engineering. You're right, Clark. It is a platform for influence. It is no longer there to entertain. And we need to extend our middle fingers or whatever you guys do in the UK and then not care. Honestly, we're mad now. The best way to get them eventually is pure apathy. They can do all the shit they want. It'll be a fart in the wind. That's what Doctor Who will be. Folks, they are systematically killing all the things that let minds reach beyond the system. Exactly. They don't want us to. They don't want us to think like individuals anymore. They want this hive mind bullshit. Skies JB for $20. Thank you very much. Ben Frail for Australian $5. The only good thing on the CW was Captain Jack as Malcolm Merlin. You're right, on Arrow. And season 1 and 2 of Legends of Tomorrow with Tolkien, George Lucas, etc. Yep. Brian Dulani for $2. Murray Gold is a genius. He is. And they can never take that away. Love the dope bowler hat. Coffee is on me tomorrow. Shine and Hatfield, thank you very much for the $5. Appreciate it. Kinnery for $2. Vita Ayala, worst human alive after Chibnall. Yeah. Spectator for $10. Would they do a Star Wars and kill off the original Doctor Who universe and do a completely new one? Yes, that's coming. I believe that's the only way to fix this. They just screwed up every book. How do they separate the comics? 9th Doctor, 10th Doctor. They screwed everything up. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Drake is 6 for $2. Critical Drinkers done. No more reviews of Doctor Who. I don't blame him at all. I don't blame him at all. I mean, I seriously love this franchise though. Like, it was a huge part of my life. I love it to death. I'm still going to love the old chef. They can't take away. I mean, like, honestly, when Jodie arrived, it died for me. And it was getting so shitty in the Capaldi era at the end. I loved him, but I mean, the writing was shit. So honestly, I like season 8, but I'm good with ending it with all the doctors looking for Gallifrey at the end. That hopeful speech that Matt Smith's give. You know what? I'm appreciating Matt Smith more every day, by the way. Matt Smith was a great doctor. Great doctor. I am appreciating him more every day. The whole Amazon Lord of the Rings, part 2, the whole Amazon Lord of the Rings writer room was fired. What? Oh, shit. Hang on. I'll do a video on that tomorrow then. Where did he hear that? Don't tell me we got this covered, okay? Whoa, 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 whoa. But this is Reddit. It's the onering.net, okay? In other news, there's a rumor reported by Justin in tonight's TORN Tuesday webcast that the entire writing staff, including Tom Shippey, has been fired and will be replaced in season 2 by Emma. However, I have yet to see anything confirmed. That would be fucking stupid. If you got rid of Tom Shippey, that would be stupid. I need to see something official on that. I'm sorry. I mean, good for Josiah for reporting it. I'll hit up my source. But yeah, that's on the onering.net. We don't know that for sure. Get rid of Tom Shippey, I'm kind of out at that point. I'll be honest with you. But maybe it's a good thing. Here's the deal. They have to have a show out within a year. And if it's not out within a year, Tolkien Estate gets their fucking money back and they can't make a show. Gary, do not worry. You're always a number 2 to me. LOL, says Eric K. Thanks, buddy. I'm happy with being a number 2. Have you seen the viral video of Walgreens down the street from your old store on Ocean being ransacked and emptied out by 6 people? Daniel Nolan, was that my Walgreens? Was that my Walgreens? I didn't even recognize Daniel. Daniel's a homeboy. He lives down the street from me. No shit. So that's down the street from my comic shop. Yeah. You know what? San Francisco would be really sorry to see Walgreens like leave because they might. We'd be fucked. Honestly, I don't shop in San Francisco anymore. I shop in other cities. By the way, these are illegal in San Francisco. I mean, this is tobacco. I don't do pot. Doctor Who fans singing the Who. We don't get Doctor Who got fans singing the Who. We don't get fooled again, says Glisner for $5. You're absolutely right. Lily Ray for $19.99. Forced to quit my job for a virus lockdown, or my dad would kick out, and I lost Doctor Who in the same week. What? Forced to quit my job for a virus lockdown, or my dad would get kicked out, and I lost the Doctor Who for the week. I'm pissed. I'm depressed, stuck inside, and family thinks I'm sexist. Thanks, Gary, for validating I'm not insane. Lily Ray, you're not insane. You're not insane. This is bullshit. I'm sorry to hear that, Lily. I hope you're okay. Did you need a break? You look tired, man. I'm fucking tired, dude. I am. I'm not lying. I don't know if you heard the live stream. I have not had a full night's sleep in like a week. I got Star Trek in like an hour. I was going to take a nap. I'm tired. You can take a break, right? Even PewDiePie took a break. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow that. PewDiePie can take a break. He's got 100 million subs. I can't take a break. I am taking probably tomorrow off. I'm probably going to just friggin' sleep tomorrow. Screw it. I don't know. I'm pretty pissed about Doctor Who. We'll see. They best leave Lord of the Rings alone. Hail Ringers. Hail Stellar. Jody Bowie says, anytime, Gary, feel like watching the 11th hour? I really do, Eskimonofono. When I first found you, I didn't like you because we didn't agree on Disney Star Wars. I kept watching and realized that you're right about most things, so I take back anything I may have said. David Chadwick for $10. It's okay. We might disagree on some stuff, but I appreciate that, David. I appreciate you being around. J.R. Tolkien wrote of the need of internal consistency in the monumental work, Tree and Leaf. Ooh, Emerald Dreams. Brilliant. And it makes me want to listen to Rush. My brother and I stopped watching Picard after episode 5 and canceled our CBS account because just why anymore? It's not Star Trek, so why bother? Picard and Discovery do not count as canon. They don't. Thank you, David, for $10. The Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews. So you just have an agenda, which is to make money. No, Dr. 14 Blu-ray reviews. I do my job. Yes, I guess my agenda is to do my job, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't make videos on stuff I don't care about. All right. So here are the rules for Nerdrotic. If I'm going to do a video on something, I have to I will intend to see the movie or TV show or have seen the movie or TV show. I will not report on things I am not going to watch or I haven't watched. I'm not going to be one of those people who flies in and talks about Doctor Who ratings and doesn't watch the show, for example. Okay? People can do that. I don't judge them. It's still news. Like Tim Pool is a news channel. So I understand why he wouldn't watch Doctor Who but report on the news, because he doesn't pretend to, he's pretty unbiased about it. That's fine. I just don't do that. I cover pop culture. I'm mainly a review channel, believe it or not. I review things or I talk about things. You notice I'm pretty done talking about Star Wars. Like that video might've been my last. I am fucking done with Star Wars. I am done reviewing Star Wars. I don't really give a shit. I don't know. We'll see about The Mandalorian, but anything else I could care less. Star Trek and Doctor Who I give a shit about. That's the only reason I'm talking about it. I watched the show. I've watched the show. Look at this wall. But I mean, this counts for shit. Time is more important. All right. So, I mean, this is fun. Kolima's in Oceanside, $7 football-sized burrito. Kolima's, Modelicious, Kolima's. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly where you're talking about, Modelicious, for $2, and I will go there. I'm going to be down there in a week. Tristan White, Doctor Who is dead. I've had an idea for a science fiction fantasy series that I'm excited about. You're absolutely right. We can make our own fun, apolitical content. Thank you. Please do it. We have good comics coming out now, like Blade Devil from CG. We need new sci-fi franchises as the existing stuff is all dead, says Micah Robinson. You're right, Micah. And yeah, there is some good stuff coming out in the indie sphere. There is. There is. What I need to see from the indie sphere, I mean, just keep going. Here's the problem. And I'm looking at this as a store from a retailer perspective. For the indie industry, for the Indiegogo comic Kickstarter, for that to be an industry, for it to be consistent, you can have your own following. Like if you have a YouTube channel, it's pretty smart. You have your own following. You could be, I mean, you can make a living at that. But fact of the matter is, you got to go one or two ways with the comics. You got to go monthly or at least bi-monthly, and they got to be cheaper, lower price point, or more expensive stuff with more pages. So you got to treat it like a novel. If I'm only going to get one comic a year, I need 100 pages, not 48. I'm sorry. Now, I know some people can't work that fast and stuff, but now if you can give me 48 pages twice a year, okay, that'd be cool. But it's not going to hold my interest. I mean, I can read 48 pages in like 5 minutes. And it's just not something that's going to stay with me. It's not something that's going to stay with me. Comics are meant to be monthly. They are. Now, if you do a big old graphic novel, I mean, do that. Do what a novelist does then. Don't put out a 48-page book. I mean, build up a big ass work and come out with it every 3 or 4 years. And that might work, and treat it like a novel. That might work. I mean, I don't have all the answers. I just know I'm a mainstream comic fan. I mean, I like underground music. I'm very snobby when it comes to music, but when it comes to comics, I am freaking basic biatch. I love Marvel. I love DC. I love men in tights, women in tights, 4-color panel. I love it all. I love it all. And, I like some indie books. I do. I like Mark Millar. As nihilist as he is, I like him, I like property comics. I'm like one of those people. I love the Game of Thrones comics. Titan was doing a good job with Doctor Who comics for a long, long time. Just pretend the entire modern era Who doesn't exist. I can't do that, Tom, but I can pretend most of it because actually most of it's now bad. Picard isn't as bad as STD. It's worse than STD, says Jeffrey STP for $2. I could listen, Jeffrey. Is it doing more damage to the franchise? Yes, you're right there, and you might be right. Terminate that like button with extreme prejudice, says Modalicious for $2. Thank you very much. Stay a while and listen for a 20 Danish krona. Cool outfit. Still laughing about your vaping rant. Thanks, John Breck. I appreciate that for $2. Citizen 7 for $2. Keep doing what you're doing. Love your channel. Thank you very much. I love you too. Steve O. Hail, Gary. I don't care that all about Doctor Who. Haven't watched Star Trek since The Next Generation, but I tune in regularly to hear your takes on both. That takes some serious talent. Wow. Thank you. Well done and keep it up. I appreciate it. Nick Seizing Image 315 for $5. Hoovians assemble. Yes. Emerald Dreams for Australian $20. F to you. I mean, that's for respect, by the way. Maybe it's time to let these franchises die and make room for the Expanse, Firefly type shows. Jad, yes. Absolute yes for $20, especially the Expanse. Oh my, you've got to see what the drinker posted tonight on Doctor Who. Epic. Sorry. We'll jump back over and then come back. Love you, Gary. It's all right, Kent Barnes. I can't wait to see his video as well. Drink is a friend. Hail, by the way, Amazon Lord of the Rings fired all the writing staff, says Nettled Nerds. Yeah, Josiah is reporting that. If that is true, what the hell? Nettled Nerds wants you to comment on the firing of the... I just looked. I need some more information. That's horrible news. I mean, even if they sucked, that's horrible news. You're going to get no show consistency whatsoever. I mean, it worked for... No, it didn't work. Walking Dead survived it, but it didn't work. Need more coffee soon? Yes, I'm out of coffee, Captain Spire. How's mom doing? Better. She's doing better. Thank you for the $2. Zachary Saw for $9.99. Do you think Jodie will be the Doctor who goes down with the ship? It seems likely that they are repeating history. Colin Baker is my favorite Doctor, but he came in at a bad time. He did. And the ship might go down. Yeah. If the ratings keep going down, there's no way they can afford this show. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, 200 Watt Studio, thank you for the $2. I appreciate it. Dreary Nitpicker for $4.99. Have you ever been curious if a scenario of Toy Story was real, what your room would be like, and who would rule? Because I am. Just got off work. Dreary Nitpicker, the ruler of my room would be Sean Connery dressed up as Thor, which is right up there. He's the boss of this room. And yes, they do come alive. When does your Mark Scott Zickery interview come out? Says Larry. Tomorrow for $2. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, sometime in the evening, because I have to do an Inquisition Super Chat Square Up. Hail, Gary. Not a Doctor Who fan. Feel your pain, brother. My dad and I were both Star Wars fans and are crushed with the new BS. Sorry again, my man. Hail. Thank you. And I'm sorry, too. I appreciate it. When will you and Jeremy answer my calls, Dad? Says Jeremy Lovechild B, $2 when you call the right number. Sorry, we gave you a fate number, 555-555-5555. 200 Watt Studio. How much do you think that Charlie's Angels, Dark Fate, etc. bombing is caused the delay of Bond 25? The coronavirus, a convenient excuse for reshoots. 200 Watt Studio, you are spot on. You are spot the hell on. Bond 25 was going to flop as hard as Dark Fate and Charlie's Angels. And they say we are the appropriators, says Culture Casino for $2. No, they just appropriated the shit out of Doctor Who. The Legion of Reason for $2.79. Clara, not looking so bad now, am I? Hell no. Hell no. As a matter of fact, she's looking awfully good, isn't she? She's looking awfully good. I got a Clara figure right there. That's right. I mean, is it bad that I look up her skirt? You can look up Clara's skirt. She's wearing panties. That's terrible. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry. Just seeing how this works. Hashtag RIP Doctor Who. Do it, Skaggy. Do it. Thank you for the $2. William Hartnell will always be the first. Hail. All respect to William Hartnell. I feel so bad for any of his heirs or anybody. I mean, like, it's so crushing for me. So disrespectful. You were here for me during The Last Jedi. Now I'm here for you too. The Framinator. The Freeminator. The Framinator. Thank you, $2. I can't read. I'm losing it, man. Hail, Gary. Josiah showed a stream. Lord of the Rings Season 1 stopped shooting. Pulled writers. Looking for new writing staff. Woke direction concerns. Still looking into it. Rage against the dying of who? Draco, let me know. Yeah, tell Josiah to contact me. I will signal boost this. We'll talk about it on Friday Night Tights. Maybe I'll have him on. I checked out of Doctor years ago, and it still makes me angry. I thought I was done caring about this show, says James McDonald for £5. Yep. Hail, Gary. I will laugh with you when it's canceled. Yes, we will all get together, Arthur Swanson, for $2 and laugh our freaking ass off. $4.99 just for that hat and suspenders, good sir. Also, not a Who follower. I've just never given it a chance yet. But man, I can feel your pain. Thank you, Grey Ghost. I'm fucking torn up. Jodie Bowie, my good friend's husband, was a fan of TFFDBG. Okay. The first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker when she did the show with David Tennant back when. I would love to know what he thinks now, LOL. Probably not much. Critical Drinker's done more. Done. No more reviews, he says. And yeah, I'm going to find out right now because we are at the end of the show. I have to rest my voice, and I'll be back in 45 minutes for Star Trek Picard. Big Daddy MRI, thank you for the $4.99. I appreciate it. And yeah, thank you all. This was therapeutic. I'm sorry. I could have gone longer, but I'm seriously like kind of dizzy tired. But thank you, 200 Watt Studio. Oh, what episode changes the number Blu-ray DVD set? I haven't checked. Do I have a Blu-ray DVD set? Hang on. Unfortunately, I have this crappy logo on it. I don't think it says Sixth Doctor anywhere. Oh, they've been planning this for a while. I never even thought about that. Nope. Oh, they've been planning this for a while. It doesn't say the Sixth Doctor anywhere. And maybe it hasn't for a while. I mean, like, they say Matt. I've got my Capaldi and like this doesn't say 11th Doctor, so maybe, you know. But you know where it does number? On the toys. I got a toy, what, up there? Yeah. But this is cool. I haven't taken it out yet. I don't think I ever will. Oh. I'm going to make my own art for these, by the way. Fuck that logo forever. Okay, we're going to end it right here. Please like, share, and subscribe. And please, hashtag RIP Doctor Who. And that complaint line, you can see it at the end of the Bowles Trek videos, or contact my good friend Noel at the TARDIS Zone. You can follow him on Twitter. We need to all band together. What we don't need to be doing is arguing with each other. That's what we definitely don't need to be doing. If you like the show, go like the show. I don't believe you, but go like the show. Now, if we're all in league, or if we're all like together with not liking the show, we need to be as big as possible. We need as many people here as possible. The numbers are what brings the change. The Fandom Menace is huge because it's a hashtag used by a lot of people. It's not very definable. It's not an organization. There's no dues or fees. And that's why it's effective. If Doctor Who wants to be effective, we can't be infighting. We need to keep our eye on the prize, which is Chibnall and BBC. Chances of success, probably zero. Okay? The show's fucked. And if it truly is fucked, get your feelings out, feel your feelings, show your rage, don't go down without a fight, and don't give them another fucking penny. Get rid of your license, do whatever you need to do. I personally, I'm getting all my Doctor Who stuff, if I get any more at all, will be secondhand. I canceled all my orders with Big Chief, which breaks my heart. It breaks my heart to do that. They're really nice people. But I can't give them any more money. Big Finish, no more money. They're never getting any money from me again. And that's that. Okay, RIP Doctor Who. It really sucks. And thanks for being here with me, folks. It's been a fun live stream. I will see you in a few minutes, or well, about a half an hour or so. So remember, not all who wander are lost. And I was trying to think of something. Listen. Fuck the BBC and fuck Chris Chibnall.